Hello and welcome back to Crit Happens Plays Echoes of the Past. As you can see, I'm currently on my own. Sad times. That's because I messed up and had my microphone muted for the first 20 minutes of this session. That's the great thing about D&D. We do it and we roll with the punches, so I do apologise. Don't worry, you didn't miss much. And we pick up right where we left off from last time. However, to give you a short recap on the events that happened last session, our party is in Neverwinter at the festival remembering. They are due to play in the festival games that happen every 10 years. These games are for high-level adventurers to show off their skill and prowess and possibly win an almighty grand prize at the end. However, our adventurers, currently level 2, have been signed up and registered for the games by a unknown person or entity. They decided that they would try and get out of these games and take hold of the grand prize, which is suspected to be an Argon relic of times past. They decided to break into the main council offices within Neverwinter and attempt to steal it. They used Lugas the squirrel for this heist. However, Lugas was unsuccessful, but they did manage to get hold of the guard's keys to the council building, due to rolling really high and me just making up stuff on the spot, you know. That's how it goes. From there, they made their way to the Museum of Time, just a simple building that holds relics of the past, mainly from the era of the Cataclysm. There, they encountered a couple of Gritzen individuals and a strange pair of Argon droids, which is where we will pick up from now.
Okay. What do I have on me? I'll just sort of speak to the room. Does anybody have any, like, small item they wouldn't mind losing?
You can put a bonbon down there.
I could. Hugh, may I please borrow a bonbon?
You may. They're a bit soppy because I put the alcohol in there as well. So I'll hand you a very alcoholic bonbon.
Lovely. I would like to cast light on the bonbon.
Oh no! Set it on fire.
No. I don't have a way to do that. I apologise.
Oh.
We all have a tinderbox, right? We'll have a tinderbox.
It's like a bonbon. It's like a bonbon Molotov because it's drenched in alcohol.
Love it. I'm gonna burn the place down.
Well, if there's anything wooden down there, that's going to be set ablaze.
Yeah.
I'll do it just for you. And I'd like to light the bonbon and drop it down the hole, even though it's probably not going to be as bright as if I... Can I cast light on it as well?
Okay.
Because there's no harm in both. A burning light bonbon.
Yes.
A burning light bomb. Yep, you can go ahead and do just that. So, how are you going to drop this inflamed bonbon that is glowing with energy into the hole? I just want to hear your thoughts.
Well,
you're not going to hold it.
No, I'm not going to hold. I'm basically just going to underarm toss it really quickly while I set it on fire because I'm not wearing any gloves.
It's covered in alcohol. Are you sure? Your hands are also covered in alcohol now.
I'll wrap it in something? I don't know, is there like a cloth or towel or at the end of a stick?
We'll just
Flip
play
it
it.
upside down.
I'm just
flip it
playing.
Put it on the edge of the hole and just push it in.
Flick it.
After a few moments, you figure out how to get this flaming bonbon into the hole.
Climb onto the roof, throw it from above.
Yeah, you mount some kind of pulley system. And you spend the next
there's like
5 hours here.
Yeah, there's a minute. I'll make a minute per crane.
Yeah. Cool. So the bonbon itself just sort of, we'll just say it sort of rolls off the edge sort of in flame. And you look over the side, Lugas, and it drops about 10 feet and then completely vanishes. And as it does vanish, you hear just this pop, poof, and it's gone.
Boof, you see.
Poof. Not a poof, more of a poof.
My instincts are telling me there's probably some state of magical darkness involved here.
Hey, roll an Arcana check for me, mate.
Thank you. Why it's God Scottish all of a sudden?
I don't know. Hey, Russian now.
Yes, choose the Russian. Trust me, I get that a lot. Check, you see.
Andy's magical mystery tour of Europe.
Hey.
14.
14. You definitely get the sense that this is arcane in nature. You get the sense that wherever this bonbon has gone is not at the bottom of this hole. You get the sense that it may have been teleported somewhere.
Okay.
But the hole is small, he said, yeah?
The hole is small. I think a medium-sized humanoid creature would struggle to fit. I think you, Hew, being the more burly type of man, would probably get stuck at the waist.
Yeah, gotcha. So no swan dive for me then.
What are you thinking, Lugas?
I'm not gonna lie, that rope idea sounds great now.
Yeah, it really does. I don't...
It's a good job you thought this through.
I think I do. I have rope on me. I can see a rope on the map. But do I think I should
You'd easily find rope if you're adventurers, right? One of you's going to have rope. If not, there's going to be rope somewhere. Every single person that spawns in D&D has rope. So it's just like littered all over the floor from adventurers that have come in for a session and then never turned up again. There's just rope everywhere in Neverwinter.
Okay. Sure, I mean, yeah. If people do want to, if someone would like to time me, I am willing to jump. I bet they wouldn't be expecting a squirrel on the rope to fall through after a flaming
Squirrel on a rope.
That's quite.
I'll happily tie it if you want. But I'd suggest you perhaps being the one to keep a hold of it.
I sort of lift my arms above my head to get ready for the process.
Oh, it's so cute.
That you're not.
Thank you.
That's this. So you tie the rope to Lugas, Hew, yeah?
Yes.
So this large, thick rope about the size of your torso, Lugas, is just flung around. And you almost create this kind of harness, let's just say. Otherwise, we're going to be dealing with broken bones and all sorts. So you managed to sort of fashion this harness. And I suppose mechanically speaking, how do you wish to lower Lugas, if that's what you intend to do?
Before we lower me, can we discover like a system? Because I don't know. Because this sound can pass through. Cause I did hear it land, but I don't. Just like it's like a tug twice situation in case I'm not supposed to make a noise.
I would say that's probably a wise shout. What do you think, Hew?
Absolutely. But of course, you're very good at climbing, so feel free on climbing back up the rope. I'll hold it steady until you're back.
Thank you. I don't want to.
And in terms of in terms of the kind of the mechanics, so being a small hole, I'm imagining that I'm going to kind of straddle the hole, rope over the shoulder. That's it, and just lower you down, just like this.
And I'll be holding the end just in case.
Yeah.
I'm helping.
Yeah, so as Tom Cruise prepares to enter the hole.
Tom Cruise, actually.
Tom Cruise. So Lugas, you're sort of being lowered into this hole, and the threshold of the sort of the wooden floorboards passes by your eye line, and you sort of drop by around sort of 5 feet, and you're down about sort of 5, 6, 7 feet now, and you can start to hear this just as you're being dropped lower and lower.
Before I reach the actual black thing, I'd just like to sort of like mentally tell you to stop lowering me for the moment, because I just want to reach out and poke it with the tip of my finger.
Yeah. As you sort of reach out with your tiny little hands, and you reach into it, you can see the tip of your finger just disappear into this darkness.
I attempt to pull my finger back out.
Your finger is fully intact. That would be mean if it didn't, right?
Yeah.
Carry on.
Dun 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 dun. Oh, I've got to describe it now, haven't I? Damn it. So as you sort of move down 5 feet more, Lugas, you feel your whole body is just sort of enveloped in this. It's kind of like being plunged into water, and your whole body begins to float, but you are still descending, and the rope is still coming behind you, but your whole vision goes black. As you look back up towards Hew, who's lowering down, you cannot see anything at all. Everything around you is complete and utter darkness. And you can breathe, and you can do everything, but it feels like you are completely immersed in water. Still want to continue?
At this because I heard. So I'm going to stop talking. I heard the flaming light bonbon hit the ground, so I know. Would I be able to sort of?
You didn't hear it hit the ground. You heard a buff.
I heard a buff.
You heard a buff. So Hew,
is that not? That not it landing?
You
buff?
So Hew, as you lower Lugas in, and Flopsy, if you're staring at it too, you will see Lugas, just as you lower him slowly, his whole body start to just disintegrate, essentially, until you can just see the end of the rope is still being lowered, but Lugas is completely gone, and you hear a boom, just a more mellow. Yeah,
he's hit the ground.
I feel like we really should stop putting the tiny creature into dangerous situations without us, you know?
I'm sure he can take care of himself. Is the rope still... It's difficult to describe. Is it still, like, taut?
Yes, but it's less resistant. So you can sort of feel the weight of Lugas on this rope as you're sort of dragging him down, and he's not the heaviest of creatures, but you can feel that the sort of the weight of it as is letting the rope descend and shuffle across your shoulder, and you're not having to do too much. But as Lugas sort of disappeared, you feel like you are having to push the rope more. It does still have some weight to it, but less weight, if that makes sense. As if Lugas is submersed in water. Does that make sense? It's like you're...
Yeah, okay. I'm not sure this is a good idea, Flopsy. It feels weird. Feels like...
would I be?
Magic often does.
So I'm going to say...
I'll carry on then.
I'm going to say about now, Lugas, you're about 10 feet Well, Hew, you would know. Lugas is about 10 feet down from when he disappeared, so about 20 feet in general. But Lugas, you don't really get the sense of. You just know how long you've been in here, and you've been in here for about 6 seconds.
Okay, I will try and like telepathically communicate upwards if I'm reaching.
Yeah, nothing at all. Even your innate telepathic abilities just come back, just ring back hollow. You would know if you're trying to communicate with somebody, and you know who you're trying to communicate. It's not like your messages are just going out into the void and anyone can pick them up. You need a target. You know your mind knows that there is just no target available, if that makes sense.
The number you have dialed has not been recognized.
Yeah.
Keep on luring. Keep on luring.
Okay, so you're still keeping your composure, yeah?
Yeah.
Cool.
I'll make a small prayer to Tia.
A small prayer to Tia? Yeah, we go. What do you want to say?
Tia, I know we have had a bit of a rocky relationship in the past, but any guidance right now would be really, really appreciated. Love you, bye-bye.
Love you. No, you don't hear that.
Oh.
Yeah, nothing really happens, but it's a nice sentiment. So as you go for what seems off to you, like you're sort of floating in this water, but then I suppose your stomach feels it first, and you feel this warmth come across your stomach and then to your body, and eventually your front of your face starts to feel like you've just come out of the water. Essentially, it's just this cold hits your face, and the sudden smell of ash and brimstone starts to envelop your senses. This heat starts to burn your nose hair if you've got nose hair, and
I have all hair.
This heat just starts to envelop your face. It doesn't hurt, but you get the sense. And as you start to gain vision, make me a perception check.
Thank you.
I think I know where you might be.
I think I'm in flipping hell. Me too.
22. You're in a room.
Oh.
A very, very dark room. There's shadows being cast, and you can now see the floor. The floor itself is just this wooden boarded, crudely boarded, I should say. The furniture in this room, there's not much. There's a small wooden chair in one of the corners. There's something resembling a seating apparatus, like a sofa, but it's covered in a cloth over in the other corner. And you notice a fireplace that's fully lit and burning. And underneath you, directly underneath you, is a large bonfire in the center of this room, as that's the heat that's raising above you. You don't see any other creatures or people.
Do I see my bonbon in the fire?
No, that would have fizzled up.
Okay.
It's a bonbon.
A bonbon.
With a 22, you see the remnants of small. You could smell the sweetness coming from the bonfire.
There's a slight strawberry scent.
Yes.
Strawberry alcohol scent singeing me nostrils. Well, in order to not be lowered onto the bonfire, I'm going to try and swing myself until I can grab onto something.
Okay.
I'm assuming he's still lowering me.
So you do get the sense that if you were to swing, there's not too much to grab onto, really, here. You're in the center of a room. It's not like... So I'm going to say the four walls are about 20 feet in either direction. So the north-facing, east, west, and southerly-facing walls are about 20 feet away. So even if you were to get the angle to swing, even trying to reach the walls would be a no-go. But you can try.
Yeah, I'll give it a go. It seems like an interesting place.
Alright, roll me this is the perfect, like, you know, in D&D when you ask for a skill check, right? And it's sort of loosely based on that skill. This is acrobatics, if I've ever heard of an acrobatic skill, right?
Yeah, I'm literally doing a rope swing.
Yes. Roll me in acrobatics, please. Hello, Kate.
Hey guys, I'm too curly. I don't like it.
I like it.
Nine.
Cool.
That's not very good.
It looks nice.
It's too. She was like, I'll go to it later.
Oh. Forget about the acrobatics.
I'm bringing the moment.
Yeah, so with a 9, you start to swing, you start to push your body weight, sort of in one direction, and you notice that as you do get some slight bit of momentum, you're making it sort of about 5 feet forward, 5 feet back, and you can feel the tug of the rope actually hitting on the aperture above you, which you see is just like the hole that you entered, is just this large well, not large, but medium-sized gaping hole that's complete darkness above you. Hew, you start to see, and Flopsy, you start to see this rope swinging within your grasp.
What does it mean? Does he want to come up?
I'd say he's swinging.
Okay, I'll just stay here.
Cool. And you're still being lowered, Lugas.
Oh, fuck. I tug. Well, I didn't have a stop tug. We only had an up tug.
Ah. So, I suppose
I tug twice.
You tug. Okay. Who?
Pull him up.
Cool.
Yeah, he's coming up if he's tugging.
Yep. So you feel you start to get closer and closer to this bonfire, Lugas, and the heat is now starting to become very, very unpleasant. And as you tug on your harness, you start to feel yourself being ascended again. And just as you do, you can hear a door being slammed. Around about, I'm using your initial 22 perception check. You hear a door being slammed from about sort of 30 feet away. And then after a few seconds, just as you feel yourself right back up against a hole, you see a door open in the room that you're in. And you see a figure that's long, dark hair and blue eyes, and that's as much as you see before your vision is then completely darkness again. It feels like you are then submerged in water. You are slowly ascended again, and Flopsy and Hew, you see Lugas appear from the darkness, fully
What's
intact.
the noise? If it's a buff,
It's a
Lugas, you alright? What happened?
Other than nearly becoming like a smoked squirrel, okay, it's definitely a portal of some kind. It took me to this way too big room with some chairs and a sofa covered in a towel. There's a bonfire in the middle of it. A bit weird. Very dark. The only light in it was the bonfire.
Was there like ash and?
I mean, there was a fire. There was going to be ash if there was a fire.
No, but I mean like.
Oh,
Do you remember when we got close to Baldur's Gate?
Or the like the what did was it similar to that? What I been to?
yeah.
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 Yeah. Yeah. Oh, that's a good point. It was quite like that. There was also a bloke. That's probably the most important thing I saw.
What did he say?
He didn't say anything. He
I will
seemed
be like
young.
taking off your harness as well as you kind of
sorry,
ascend.
Yeah.
He seems pretty angry. Sort of like slamming doors open. He had like really long dark hair and quite nice pretty blue eyes. Would I have been able to recognise what he was if I saw his did I see like any species defining traits?
Humanoid.
Humanoid, that's it, that is literally everything.
Humanoid in this.
I'm assuming not Dragonborn.
Yes. Yeah, we can rule out Dragonborn, a medium-sized humanoid. So you got the sense that probably not a dwarf or a gnome.
Yeah.
I assume elf and or human and or hybrid.
Would that ring any bells to me? Would I know of some kind of, I'm presuming, powerful, long, dark-haired, blue-eyed man that's not a gnome or a dragonborn?
No.
I'm just slamming doors.
No.
Well, with this description, it could be a multitude of
it could be
people.
anyone, yeah.
Yeah.
I only really, if we are, I don't know if I want to go down there again, but like if we do, can we like have a separate tug for a stop and a separate tug for it up? Because
Yes.
the only reason I tugged up because I was like 2 feet from the fire.
Yeah, we can do that. That's not a problem.
I'm certain that a complicated code or what you want me to do is a great idea. I can't go wrong.
It's just 2 things.
2 instructions.
one tug for a stop, 2 tugs for that.
No,
Gotcha.
was that 2? Was that 1? I can't tell. Was that just 1 really long tug?
It was 2 singular tugs, I'm sure.
Go.
That telepathy of yours, when you're speaking to our minds, is it just words or do images come over as well?
I'm pretty sure it's just words. Really, I mean, I can cast. Do I have a cast? I can cast minor illusion. By being able to
that'll work.
recreate what I saw with minor illusion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I ask a quick question? Sorry, I don't want to interrupt. Can I just ask? So the floorboards have been like broken away directly. So if I was to look at the side of the hole, I'd see the floorboards, and then is there like soil or dirt or like joists or?
What's the wall made out of?
Joists. Yeah.
Yeah, like other bits of wood and things.
I've never looked underneath a house, Darren. I'm not sure, but yeah, you're probably better at telling me what it looks like, honestly. But yes,
yeah, okay.
Sort of joists and then just pitch dark.
But it's wood and then the darkness.
Yeah.
So if we wanted to have a chop away at the floor, then we could make the hole bigger.
Seemingly so, yeah.
Okay.
I'll probably fuel that angry guy's fire. The bonbon seemed to have helped. The bonbon might have lit the fire. There was no one there at the time.
What has somebody done to all my dry firewood?
Yes, I stacked them all in the middle of this room, above my pit.
Cool. At this point, Julius, you've headed back to the museum. And you can see your friends dangling squirrels on ropes.
Funny, that's a fancy trick you did earlier with the smoke bomb. Where'd you get them? He says.
Smoke bomb?
Yeah, you sort of like threw it at your feet and then pissed off.
You disappeared like a magician, Julius, but yeah.
Of course I did.
I was 5 feet away from you. It scared the living daylights out of me.
Yeah, I just thought, like, post almost being murdered was good time for a stroll. I'd ask what you're doing, but it seems perfectly obvious
Baldur's Gate is down there.
Him.
Maybe.
Do I believe him?
Go on. Let me get my character sheet. Oh god, we're gonna see if this
not
works.
great. I'm not gonna lie, but
I'm stressed. I'm just stressed for the Foundry's gonna play nice with me tonight. Oh, my health's not good.
No, it's not.
I can hear you if you want.
I think you're one of the few people that actually got whacked several times.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm actually like really low. I should probably heal myself.
Yeah, you are looking pretty hurt.
Maybe we'll say on that walk, I did a little healing word on myself, like a sado.
A really down bad healing would just.
You're okay, you're fine.
Yeah,
It's just a flesh wound.
go ahead and just at some point go ahead and knock off a spell slot and then roll the dice.
Yeah, I think I've done it.
I love the idea of Julius is playing the world's smallest violin to heal himself.
Flopsy, was that insight check? In general, what was the insight check?
It was to see if he was if there was more to the walk than he's letting on. Okay. Is he telling the full truth basically? Because I know what he's like. He'll say he went for a walk. Technically, that's true. But I'm wondering if there's a little bit more to it.
Okay, so Julius, roll a d20 and add either your persuasion or your deception, your choice, but don't let us know.
Thing.
Oh, gotcha.
Oof. 23.
Yeah, so it's up to you what Flopsy portrays from you, but yeah, you get the sense that Julius is telling the truth. Yeah.
What on earth did you think was going to happen with you looking like shit and walking off without any protection at this time of night after a fight? I mean, Julius, come on. I know that you're not always exactly, the most thoughtful person, but Jesus Christ, who doesn't exist in this...
Wait, who's that? I think you mean Ilmot.
Tears, tits.
Oh, fine.
Number 1. That was a lot of words all at once. Number 2. I don't look that shit. And number 3, it wasn't even my fault we got in the fucking fight. What was all this? Oh, we're the Grixin again. We're in the museum. And then you were all like, oh, was it about the thing we lost? Do you care to share about that? The thing we lost, is that the royal we?
The thing we lost? Oh, you mean I was... what did I say?
Yes. I don't know, but I wrote it down
something?
from last night. I think, you know that. No, back in time. I'm sure when you were talking, you were like, the thing that we lost.
Yeah.
I remember him saying about Salem Gritson.
I'm sure you said we at one point, and I was like, oh, I'm going to pull her up on that.
Nah.
But it might have been like an investigation, I don't know. Anyway, that's for later. Why is the tiny squirrel person going down into this hole?
It's a portal
And one end
to Baldur's Gate, apparently.
Yeah, well,
Of
it
course.
smelled a lot like it.
Hey. That's good.
In fact, actually, Lugas was just about to minor illusion what he saw.
Yeah. Hey.
Yeah, do you want to describe to us what your minor illusion looks like, Lugas?
This
Well,
apparently.
The most important part was the bloke. And so I'm going to try and see what I remember, because it's the door. He kicked open the door, and I'm going to try and show what I...
Okay, roll me a history check. I get that this has just happened, but it was such a brief moment. I'm going to say you saw him for about 2 seconds. Yeah, it's your minor illusion is like, I don't know the full mechanics of minor illusion, but I don't think you can make a vivid image, right? You can make a sort of a portrayal of an image, and it's sort of in this ghostly form, I do believe. Feel free to correct me. I don't think you can actually create a photograph image, right?
Create an image of
minor illusion? Can you create a person?
I've always thought of minor illusion as this kind of just ephemeral image.
It doesn't say it at all.
Yeah.
Blur it. It just says you create an image.
All right. Well, hey, with a free,
Like
you,
in a photo.
with a free,
Yeah.
you create an ephemeral image of a medium-sized humanoid. It's got shoulders and a head, and long hair.
Long dark hair
Yeah.
and bright blue eyes.
I did date a girl who looked a bit like that once. Lived in a well, it was terrifying. She used to crawl out of the TV screens.
There was also this chair. Do you want the chair?
I mean, sure, go for it. Anything. I mean,
I saw the chair quite a bit more clearer than
Oh,
the
and as you conjure this chair with your mind, it's a lovely chair. It's made of wood. It's got
Was
four
that-
legs and a back, and it's a chair.
It's a nice chair though.
Mm.
If they made them in my size.
Do I
I'm not overly
recognise
sure
what
we're going
wood
to be
it's
able to
made out
figure
of?
it out. Yeah.
I'm assuming there wasn't any
What
like
do you
banners on the
mean?
wall
Got great
saying,
leads.
"We live here. This is our name. This is our symbol."
But Hew, it is an oak chair. It is a nice oak chair.
That's a good chair.
That might round us down. Are there any oak chairs and oak trees in Baldur's Gate? That with like
No, there's no oak trees in Baldur's Gate. The only ones they're dead.
Is Ozzy Osbourne also in Baldur's Gate? Is that what we're looking at?
Maybe.
Can you not do a major illusion or something? Is this the best resolution we get?
I mean, if you asked me that like 15 years ago, I'll do it immediately, but not right now.
So you've regressed.
Let's not be a go to that business at the moment. Let's just once we've got some free time, we might just
Yeah, we'll leave everything to later. And he gives
let's just
Flopsy a pointed look.
if I don't want to be the first one to reveal backstory stuff, especially this early.
It is worth mentioning now. Seeing from the windows, it is dark outside. It is now late evening, sort of 10 o'clock-ish.
Mm.
Well,
There were
look,
people outside when we came in here, weren't there?
Yeah, there was
Yeah.
a elderly gentleman and a lizard folk. Who?
Well,
that
I don't
them
think it's safe for us to just leave them with a portal to Baldur's Gate in the middle of their shop, you know? Is it? I don't think
I
that's
could-
a wise choice.
I could push a crate over the top of it and make the hole safe.
Or we could put like a rug over the top of it and laugh if anyone falls in.
I prefer the crate idea. I think the crate idea is a great idea. Let's do that one.
Or, I mean, I'm not that tired. We could, like, try and explore a bit more if you want to make the hole a bit bigger. I'm sure I could pull some of these floorboards up.
Really?
I mean, it's quite late, but I mean, I wouldn't say that Baldur's Gate is the best place to spend a nightcap, you know. Not for
never been.
outsiders, at least. And I don't think that's going to be taking us anywhere particularly pleasant. Or less pleasant,
Ozzy
more
Osbourne
unpleasant.
gets quite angry from what I saw of him.
Ozzy Osbourne. And now that they've seen a squirrel on a rope, they're probably going to be a little bit, you know, vigilant.
I don't know if he might. I don't know if he saw me. He probably like heard the fire crackling.
Yeah, he
That's
was.
if the bomb was what lit it. But
There was no eye contact. So you get the sense that you were unseen.
Someone set fire.
Did
to
he
this
look?
Bunglewood. Wait, look.
Did he look like he had any intention of crawling up through the hole
I didn't
portal?
Look up. I think he was looking. I don't know where he was looking. At like the fire, probably. It's the brightest thing in the room. I was above it.
Was he in a room, or was it like a?
Yeah, it was. That room was flipping massive. By the way, it was like 40 feet across.
40 square feet.
Why would they
Big room,
have?
nice baller.
Why would they have a portal to Baldur's Gate above a bonfire?
It's probably super pollution.
This is the
Very conscious about that carbon footprint.
That's quite bad, over.
this is the campaign hook, guys. The BBG he's just polluting the environment. That's his game.
Story about climate change.
That's smoke. It's got to be leaking somewhere. Maybe that portal's.
Well, yes, but I'm thinking more like, so we just dispatched a load of Gritzen. So presumably, let's assume no, that they arrived. There's a lot more than what we just dealt with. That's what he said. There were more of them, but he wouldn't say how many or where they were. But if there's a hole to Baldur's Gate in the middle of the time place, the only way of easily getting through it is down. If it's in the ceiling. And do we see any like discarded ropes or climbing paraphernalia around the area?
Roll me an investigation check.
We're using a discarded rope.
Could we also check, does it look like the floorboards that have been removed, does it look like they've been removed from upwards, like by bending them up, or from beneath?
Okay, that's a good shot then.
Yeah.
With that comment, Flopsy, go ahead and roll me another investigation check, and we'll say that Julius is assisting there, and you can roll with advantage.
Investigation is
rolling
better than
so
mine.
well so far, though. It's amazing.
All right. 12.
I think my passive investigation's better than this.
My investigation.
Well, what is your passive investigation?
That's a good question. 15.
A 50. Oh, okay, fair enough. Yeah, do call those out. I keep track of passive perceptions, but passive investigation doesn't show on my little dabble.
Don't even know what mine.
So you say sort of take a look around for a few minutes, and you sort of pace around the room. You don't see any sort of climbing materials or anything like that, but what you do see is near the hole, marks on the floorboards leading up to the hole, like something was being dragged or pushed. Julius, as you're sort of helping with this investigation, you do see that the floorboards where they have been torn or snapped in a way, they were bent upwards to uncover what it was. In a crude manner as well. It's not like it was meticulously cut. It is they've just rudimentary broken through the floor.
Looks like they were panicking to get down there. Do you think they knew that the portal was there and then they were trying to get in from above, or they conjured it there? Maybe Ozzy doesn't even know that there's a portal there.
I'll say a little bit more. The drag marks that you see on the floor appear to be from a large object of some kind being moved. Or not a large object, but a heavy object.
Do we see where
like
it originates?
Julius, make me an investigation check.
Oh no, I've got +0, guys.
I would love to say guidance, but we don't have that.
Has no one got guidance?
Oh, yep, great. 8.
8. No, so the drag marks themselves, you sort of you follow them. You follow them for a short distance, around sort of 5 feet, and then it's almost like this object that was either being pulled or pushed is sort of skipped across the floor. But you can see multiple drag marks. It's not just one sort of trail. There's multiple that seem to be leading towards this hole, but you can't quite discern an origin of anything. but it's all around the room.
Perhaps we should ask the museum holders, see what they think is missing.
Or the council, which holidays.
Yeah. Well, at this point, a gentleman enters the museum. What did y'all find in here? Did you get rid of those criminals?
Yeah, they're dispatched.
Was there 2 drow? Did they kill 2 drow?
Just one. There was just one.
One and a ton of robots, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And a couple of henchmen.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah,
armored
assuming-
suits.
I'm assuming the robots were here previously. Did the robots break in? Or were the robots already here?
Are you saying that out
I will
loud?
ask. I will. Yeah. Well, I'm sort of just projecting because I can't speak normal.
Yeah. So this chap here, he'll sort of move on up. What the hell? Why is there a big hole in the center? What's going on?
I wouldn't go near that if I were you. It was set up before we got here. It doesn't lead anywhere pretty. I would recommend staying away from it for now.
Right.
It's all of malevolent origin.
Why is there argon droid parts just scattered across? And as he sort of takes a look around.
That was us, yes.
I wouldn't mess with that. Blasted machine. It hasn't worked in thousands of years. It's completely useless.
Oh, well, it talked.
Sorry, miss. It talked.
Well, that one did. That one just blinked.
And how in the world would that ever happen?
I don't know. I mean, my friends also heard and saw them, so, you know, I don't know.
That one's
Do you think
I
my
changed
face
that
did this
one's
to
eyes
itself?
colour.
Look, I don't know what kind of drugs you kids are on, but thank you for clearing out whatever was going on here. None of y'all have nicked anything, right? Like, there's so much stuff that's missing.
Well, that's what we were going to ask. Is there what do you notice is gone? Because we have a feeling that they might have preempted us a little bit and stolen some stuff.
Right. We're in the process of refactoring sort of everything that we've got here in the museum. We're planning on setting up new stalls, and we're not exactly open right now, so everything's just boxed up in crates and for moving and shuffling around and getting rid of old exhibits, bringing new ones in. I'm missing about 4 or 5 crates. This one's been smashed. Did anyone get away?
Not that we're aware of.
We only saw one actual non-robotic person in here.
And it's this guy dead on the floor, is it?
Yeah, it's that fella. Sorry about him.
Yeah, right.
Can I point to the robots that are attacking us? But were they ones you already had here previously, or did I don't know if that guy sort of brought them with him.
Yeah, and this crumpled up, tarnished suit of armor on the floor. Oh no, that cost me 20 gold. Oh. Yeah, what did you say? It came alive and attacked you?
Yep. The dead fella sort of cast a spell and sort of animated him.
Well, this individual, and he sort of kicks him on the floor, he's... Trouble.
Yeah.
Trouble.
And you said there was multiple criminals, so there's probably someone we haven't caught yet, or he jumped down the death hole.
The death hole? What do you mean, that hole right there is a death hole?
Well, it's a very dark hole that ends in burning. So, sort of 2 and 2 together, probably a death hole.
Right, well, I can't have a hole in the middle of this place anyone could walk in. What are we doing about this hole?
Unless you have
I mean, it's
are we sort of mentally sort of tune in on Flopsy? Do you need like a really quick way to get to Baldur's Gate? Because like,
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. Can you say that again?
do you need like a really? I don't know why I'm whispering. I don't need to. I can just tune in. Do you need like a really quick way to get to Baldur's Gate? Or like, or do you? Because if we just like, if this guy knows like a powerful magic caster, we can like try and dispel it or something.
Well, I mean, the one thing I have to say is that it seems to be that Baldur's Gate is just infiltrating where we're going right now, but there's more people around. I mean, if we wait a few days, we can meet Captain Xandar and he can drop us off somewhere nearby. We need to get rid of it. If we're not going to use it, we need to get rid of it. But I don't know. I'm a little bit wary. Baldur's Gate is somewhere that is quite dangerous to outsiders, regardless of where you are. We'd be stepping right into the lion's den with no understanding of where we're going.
Of the bonfire I was above, did any of the wood in that bonfire look like any of the crates smashed up?
Now this conversation's happened, you start to put two and two together. Yeah. You start to get the sense that these crates they've got sort of metal banding on, and they're of a particular type of wooden plank, and yeah, you sort of think back, and yes.
Okay, well, the stuff stolen's definitely down there. The bonfire was made primarily of the crates. I don't know what.
Do you know what was in the crates that are missing, friend?
I'd have to take inventory of what I've got and what I've not got. I can't be sure of which crates I put where.
If it helps, what Aragon technology or relics did you have here? Anything related to the Cataclysm?
Oh, I mean, we've got plenty of things related to the Cataclysm: documents, scrolls, imagery. I'm the only purveyor of the most intact Argon droids, or they were, until you guys step foot in here, and I'm gonna have to rebuild those back up. They're sort of the real things that bring the punters in. They attract the crowds. But come back tomorrow, and I'll take inventory of everything, and I'll let you know what's missing, and we can go through what we've got. Because yes, I may feel like you're on drugs because you're saying there's a big hole in the suit of armor's coming alive, but I owe you a great deal. Thank you. And some reward should be in place for you. Come back tomorrow.
Well, we should probably come back anyway just to check on the hole, but Hew can put a crate over it if it helps.
Yeah. Maybe like one of the heavier ones. There was a bloke down there.
A bloke in the hole?
Aye, in the death hole.
I'm not even going to ask. Big
this is
man.
making this sound so sane.
Looked a bit like Ozzy Osbourne. I'll sort of capture it again.
I feel like whoever he is, a box is definitely going to stop him.
Yeah.
You
I
can
agree.
rest easy.
Cool. So,
Yeah.
big man, give us a hand. We're gonna need one of these sort of larger crates. Because as you can imagine, the crates that are here in this room, Hew, as he sort of leads you around, you get the sense that most of the crates here are big enough to fit through the hole. Make sense?
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So he finds one of the larger crates that is sort of 1 meter by 1 meter by 1 meter, very much a cube crate, and with your help, he sort of brings it on over.
You slide it over.
But as he does, and as you're pushing this crate, the lid is semi ajar, and you can see this book that's just opened within the corner of this crate, and it's lined with gold inlay, and its writing is of a typography that is old and archaic, and the pages itself look dated and decayed, but kept in an orderly manner. And it's it's caught your eye like a little magpie.
As I'm pushing, I say, "What's in here? It's very heavy."
Oh, just random documents and scrolls. He takes a look in and he pulls out the book and just dusts it off, and a plume of dust sort of rises up from it. It's, a good novel, and he'll hand it to you.
What? Oh, what's it called? I'll check the spine, and I'm not the best at reading, but I'll give it a go.
What languages do you speak?
Celestial. Hang on a second. Where are the languages?
That's fine. I don't need to know any more because you speak Celestial. So it's not a word, and you would know this because damn you people, I'm picking Celestial. I do it myself, to be fair. I always pick Celestial when it comes up. It's not a word, it's symbols. And you see that there's sort of these flowing rune-like symbols across the spine of this book and also on the front of it. They're not portraying any kind of word, but it's more evoking a feeling of death and destruction and fire. That's kind of what Celestial as a language is. It's more of an evocation of feeling within you to conduct a narrative, if that makes sense.
Yeah, okay. It's very interesting. Do you mind if I borrow this, and when we pop back tomorrow, I know you're not a library exactly, but it might help us get to the bottom of who these people were.
Of course. A fantastic read.
It certainly looks old.
That's older than anything we have in here. Keep it safe. Please turn the pages carefully.
I can absolutely be trusted with being careful with delicate books.
I've seen this man eat bonbons with a delicate touch that you wouldn't believe.
Yes. Would you like one? And I'll offer him a bonbon as it been brought up.
Yes, for sure. Yes. Ooh. Very nice. They taste of bourbon and whiskey.
Yeah. It's good shit.
Not urban bourbon.
Bourbon biscuits.
A bourbon bonbon.
Bourbon bonbon.
It's got quite the aftertaste.
Bonbon.
Quite the aftertaste. Well, if you don't mind, I'm going to tidy up here and make do. Fuck off.
Okay. To the pub.
Before we completely leave, I'd like to etch a thieves' cant word onto the door frame as we leave, saying "protected."
Okay. Cool. Yeah, you can go ahead and do that quite easily.
Narrows his eyes at it and is like, prospective.
Yeah, how stealthily were you doing this, Flopsy?
I'd like to not show the shopkeeper or the museum owner that I'm defacing his property, but
he's unaware. He's busy and as his back's turned, you can quite easily doing it. But if you're not trying to hide it from everyone else, you see Flopsy does something or other to the door frame.
I want to just go up to the shopkeeper before we leave.
Aye.
And just like in a low whisper. We are, just so you know, we're not on drugs. Okay.
Sure you're not. Wherever you're getting that good kush, let me know. My supplier's gone dry.
I was about to ask you the same question, so that's awkward.
Okay, you know that feeling when you just want to get high and
yeah.
I'd suggest a change in lifestyle.
Can I insight check him to see if I think he's just trying to make himself sound like...
No insight check. No,
he's ever taken a drug.
no insight check needed. This guy is a burly guy. He's seen some shit. He's seen some shit. His eyes are like bulging. This guy's seen some shit.
Okay. Well, you know, if I find anyone good, I'll let you know. And I'm lying. Definitely not letting this guy know because he doesn't need to go anywhere near that.
I don't think I'm supposed to endorse this behaviour.
Sorry, I'm doing it quietly. You don't have to hear it, Lugas.
Okay.
Okay. And then I'll just leave.
Cool.
I'm trying to read what Flopsy's written in the door for it.
As I go by, I'm just going to seek better life choices.
What the fuck was that? No, voice in the sky. I will not seek better choices. I like my life. Cool.
Like me, I guess.
Who's talking to me right now? This is so horrible. Where are you guys headed?
I mean...
Back to the pub.
What was it called again? It had a really stupid name. What was it called?
Morning Wood.
Bring it up.
The morning glory.
Wood.
Oh, the morning wood. Yeah.
Morning glory.
Oh, wait, what? Before we get there,
That
what's
would also work.
Cool.
Lucy. Is it Lucy?
Lucy, yes.
Oh, yeah, Lucy.
It is, okay.
So yeah, you're
And we did have
currently here. Heading back to the morning wood, are we?
Yeah.
Cool.
Head back.
And we'll stop there and take a little bit of a break. So we'll be back
Oh god, yeah.
in just a second, guys. Ta-ta.
My bell.
My bell. Right, jumping back into it then, guys. You are heading back from the Museum of Time towards the Morning Wood. It's a pleasant evening in Neverwinter. The sounds of joy and the music that you were hearing during the day from the festival has died down now. There's people in the streets heading back and forth down the main streets, and some of them do notice your party as you move through, and they just sort of give you a bit of a nod and a warm welcome. But they don't seem to sort of impede you as you move along. You can hear a couple of bards in the city centre as you cross by are playing their melodies and their tunes to the night sky, not necessarily looking for any kind of audience, just enjoying themselves on this merry night. It's only a short trip back to the Morning Wood, but is there anything that you guys would like to do in the city centre itself before we arrive?
I think for my part, I'm still on holiday, so I'm walking down the streets of Rome, like, oh, look at that, look at the building, look at the architecture. Oh wow, oh, it's really nice. Just enjoying the sights and scenery.
And it is. The buildings here are well constructed. The stonework itself is it's all been constructed out of this very coarse granite stone and slabs after slabs. And as you look at it even more, you're like, how did we build such a thing? How are humans capable of building cities this gorgeous?
Everything's so big and orange.
Yeah.
Forgot that one. Well, for Julius' part, he's going to be walking down the street, and anyone who pays them any mind, he's going to smile at. He might even shake some of their hands if they look like.
Oh, hello there. It's a pleasure to meet you. My name's Grace. Hello.
Grace, that's a beautiful name. Nice to meet you. We're just having our first team outing, you know.
Ah, you're getting ready for the game, are you?
Yeah, you know, what's the saying? Wait, piss poor preparation? No, wait. Proper preparation prevents piss poor performance. That's the one.
I'll take your word for it. That sounds fantastic, but that doesn't instill me with confidence. I've got money on you to win.
I'm sorry.
Oh no, yeah, you're great. You're definitely like, look at this guy right here, and I'll like hook my thumb at you. Look at the muscles on that thing, and that one, Quirrell. He does some crazy stuff.
Okay. Well, it's a pleasure, and please don't die.
That's semi-unlikely to happen.
Dying is what we do best. Ha! Yes. Experts.
Ignore him. Okay.
Her
Great to
fa-
meet you, Grace.
Her face sort of drops a little, and she seems confused and just, oh no, and just walks off. Cool. So you guys arrive at the morning wood. And as you open the door, the smell of luscious meats and ale and frothy beverages. The place is packed out quite a bit now, actually. There's a person seated at nearly every table. Lucky for you guys, there's a single table with 4 seats just left there.
Nice.
But the rest of the place is seemingly packed out. Everybody's enjoying the atmosphere. But there's actually a lull about the place. There's no music or anything like that at the moment, which is odd for a tavern. Taverns like these, they normally would have a bard, creating a sense of camaraderie and melody. But it seems the omission of a bard is present.
Hint,
As-
hint,
I
nudge.
know.
Well, hint, nudge,
Julius, weren't you
nudge.
supposed to be?
Yes.
Yeah,
supposed to be tonight's
no,
entertainment.
like, what time is it? do we have any idea? I don't think we.
Yeah, it's about
We didn't.
about 10:30. That's up to it.
Yeah, we're fine. Most people don't even come out till 11 o'clock midnight anyway. Everyone's still pre-drinking in their dorms until then.
Neverwinter
So I
is known
get it.
as a uni town.
It's the University of Neverwinter for sure. I'll go up and I'm gonna go ding on the bell.
Just once. You're just digging it
Ding!
once. Oh no! And you see this sound.
My favourite.
This sound before you see it. It just goes. "Ah,"
Oh,
and just
Lucy.
and the back behind the bar, these 2 flapping doors just fling open. Hello. You.
How you doing?
I'm doing better than you will be in a minute. You promised me entertainment.
Here, right now. And if we could just get a drink and then also let these guys know where our actual rooms are, then I'll get started.
Yes, rooms were promised. Food was promised. Something else was promised. But you didn't show
I
up.
think it was-
What
It's
time do you
even
call
night,
this?
10:30 apparently.
Fair enough. You're
Most
gonna-
people, they finish their dinner, then they're gonna come out, they're gonna have a few drinks, it's gonna be great.
We'll get to it and sort this rabble out. They're starting to complain. And I've got a 5-star rating to uphold.
Insight check.
Yeah.
Insight check me. What did you just say? Go for it. Come on then.
Is she telling the truth?
Oh no. Just behind the bar there is a plaque. And it shows the denotation of sort of 5 stars. And you can see it looks genuine, right? It's it's a framed plaque. But you can see 2 of the stars are imprinted. They look genuine. But the 3rd and 4th stars are coloured in with felt tip pen to make it look like it's a 4-star restaurant. So yeah, it's not 5-star. It's not 4-star. It's 2-star.
I love Lucy so much. She's my favourite. Okay, I'll reach my hand out for a shot of something if there is one.
Yes. And she'll grab down the bottle of of what you ordered before. This large glass medical instrument jar flask of no labelled green shit.
It's absent. Take a swig of that, and I'll stride off, I guess, into the crowd.
Cool. Yeah, and what are the rest of you up to? Taking a seat. What are you doing?
Taking a seat.
Taking a seat. So yeah, just by chance, the table that you were at previously is free with 4 stools around it.
Amazing.
You can see the platter still there, and a couple of the eggs that you left are still in place, and they've got a bit nasty.
I kind of feel like I'm eating them anyways.
Cool. The night is yours.
Can I have a look at that book you've got there?
Yeah, let's have a look. I recognize some of the symbols. We used to learn this writing at Sunday school.
Definitely the best place to bring out an antique book is a 2-star tavern on a table with shitty eggs.
I told him I'd look after it, don't worry. As he hands a grubby fried egg into his mouth and then turns the page with the same greasy fingers.
Oh no. Oh no.
How about you pass me that over to me? Yeah, just like Celestial. That was my first language, so why don't you just...
Yeah, let's have a look. Let's see what it says.
Okay.
Cool, you having a read then, Lucas?
Oh yeah, I'll have a read.
Cool. So it's interesting. The book itself is this leather-bound tome. It feels like a hard tome, and it's quite thick with many pages. But it's almost like a hardback because the leather has aged so much. It's just become dry and not brittle, but you can see it's just been oiled throughout the years, and it's a heavy tome. It's quite large. Well, especially for you. You probably wouldn't be able to lift it. And as you sort of pull back the front cover, you do see that there's a blank page to start with, and then on the next page, written in common, as most of the words here are, it just says the word war, and it says underneath, "To my dearest daughter, Elena, always remember me." And as you...
Look,
Go on. No, go on.
I was wondering if the book had like an author. Did it have like the name of the author at the bottom of the cover or on the spine?
No, not the. You take a couple of minutes to look around it. You can't see any kind of author mark, or even this message that's sort of on the front doesn't appear to be signed by anyone. But there is and I should mention this message at the front, and as you're sort of just flicking through as you see it, it is all handwritten. It's a handwritten tome. The topography itself is very fluid and joined in such a comprised manner that you think this is a highborn that would have wrote it, almost like a very learned individual may have possessed this tome and possibly written it. And yeah, as you read into this book, you get this sort of this feeling, this emotion of just death and destruction. And it is portraying the events of what happened moments after the cataclysm. And we'll get to that in a bit. What are the rest of you up to?
I would like to have a conversation with Lugas when he's finished reading the book.
Oh, you bet that.
But up to that point, so do you said you're not into all of that religious stuff, Hew? Is that correct?
Yes. No, it's a bit uptight for me, really. I never really got into it. It was quite an important part of where I used to live, though. So.
Well, you know that all the gods have gone missing now. Like, how did your religious types kind of deal with that? Like, are they just kind of working on faith that they're around somewhere? Or?
Well, no, it was always where I grew up. There were two groups, really. So I lived in a sacred commune to Father Bear. He's a minor deity. Balador is his other name. And there are two groups who are kind of living out his teachings in the Whispering Woods. And the druids, the most of us, we were quite content to live in the woods as he instructed us. But the clerics, they thought that he was still around, and they've been trying to find a way to another plane of existence to join him. So I don't know. Like I say, I tend to keep myself to myself when people mention. But no, I mean, perhaps he is out there somewhere in another plane of existence, waiting for us.
Would you like him to be? Would it matter?
Oh, he seems like a nice enough guy. It's just yeah. It's and that's at the end of the day. That's why we learnt Celestial, and we learnt to share in his stories if we ever were to meet him. But it's a hope. It's a hope more than a realistic proposition, I think.
One might say a faith.
Perhaps. Yes. As far as I'm concerned, so long as I've got a nice bed to sleep in and a sturdy pair of boots to work in, then I'm happy enough. Do they go into religion at Baldur's Gate much?
I think we had a little bit too much religion, to be quite honest with you. I think that's been a bit overdone. I wouldn't say that there's particularly much religion going on in Baldur's Gate right now. I think it's all, all for one and all for me kind of mentality going on around there. But you never know. We occasionally do get the odd pilgrim or what are they called, missionary that tries to reinstill some kind of holy divine energy. Generally, it doesn't end well.
No, in my experience, it's the people who ruin it. It's I think it's often it's when you add ego to religion, that's where things go wrong. God, yes, you felt very smart there mentioning ego. That's a bit deep,
word
isn't
for
it?
You.
How are you getting on with the book, Lugas? Is it a good read?
Is it a good read?
We'll get to that in a bit.
Okay. Yeah.
It's really good so far. It's getting to a juicy bit. But you need a little bit more time to prepare. So if you'd like to have a conversation before we do that, that'd be great.
Well, I mean, if you, Lugas, you don't mind having a conversation now, then
I don't want to get too excited. I want to have a break from that for a few minutes.
Yeah, hand it here. Let me have a look.
Do you mind like wiping your hand on your shirt beforehand? That's a little bit better. Yeah. Anyway, Flopsy, what do you want to ask?
Oh, well, obviously you're quite in control of like your voice in your head and putting it out to other people. Now, obviously so I'm here because of a friend of mine. And something happened with some Aragon with her back in Baldur's Gate. And she started to kind of, I don't know, be a bit different. And it was all in her head. But obviously everyone's a little bit, cagey when it comes to Aragon around Baldur's Gate, so I thought that maybe I'd be able to learn a little bit more outside of the Dead Zone. Not really found much luck up to this point, except for now, where Aragon's everywhere. So I was wondering if you knew anything about Aragon and its, telepathic or telekinetic properties.
I mean, do I? I don't think I would.
I'm going to say
Might
no
I-
on your
Yeah.
with your sort of in relative terms, your brief existence here and in Faerun. I'd say no.
Very sorry, Flopsy, but the telepathy is sort of are quite unique to each sort of like brand of it. Really, this is the one I use is practiced solely and is like natural with my species. So any like magic surrounding that, I'm not a psychic. This is just how I communicate.
I see.
Very sorry.
Do you know of any kind of source of anything that would potentially give someone psychic abilities? Or, anything that would instill that? Is there any precedent?
About our species, I've sort of our magic is divine in origin. I don't know if that's a bit like quite a lot of things is divine in origin, especially at the moment.
Mm.
It's strange to hear that coming from Lugas about his interpretation of magic being of the divine. I think, Julius, if you were to overhear this as well, and I'm not sure, but Flopsy, you understand that your life here is yes, there are magic users, there are sorcerers, there are wizards, but the notion that power spell casting comes from the divine is a old archaic way of thinking. It's now spell casting and spellcraft itself comes from within, or more. It's not tied to the gods. So it's strange Lugas still feels that way and still believes it.
Question about time.
If you don't mind me asking. Oh, sorry.
Sorry, no, I was gonna say like the gods disappeared 1,000 years ago. That's like I'm not there, but this was like we know this, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How old are you, Lugas, if you don't mind me asking?
I'm coming up. I'll be 100 in a couple months.
I only ask because you said that you've shaken Tyr's hand.
Aye.
But the gods haven't been around for ages.
Well, I think I read something about that. Crazy.
I mean, you read something about it. It's why the world is the way it is now.
Yeah, here.
So, you've met Tyr on your plane?
Yeah. I might need some quick guidance from DM God here. What's he up to? I haven't seen.
What you PM'd me yesterday? You've met Tyr on the material plane.
On the material plane.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I mean, so I've met him within the last. Like, yeah. I guess he sort of he's appeared before me before, really, in sort of astral thingy.
Well, that's incredible. Like, that's going to be the first god that's appeared in front of anyone for centuries.
I saw him before as well. I'm kind of as like sort of an employee, really. Not really a worker, more of a co-worker type deal.
I have a personal relationship with my god. I'm an employee. Love it.
He's my CEO.
That is more of He's my boss. Currently,
And I hope you don't mind me asking, and I appreciate this probably isn't the best place to be having this conversation, but you did mention that you had a mental breakdown a while ago, and you're still recovering from it.
Well, let's say I didn't. I sort of had a bit of a misdemeanor and didn't really. I wasn't able to fully complete a task given to me, and that was sort of like that led to some consequences that of the evil variety, which I a bit of a falling out, and I did see I have sort of lessened in power quite significantly, and that sort of calls that as I do get my power from Ian, who sort of got a bit of a contract going on.
Oh, a contract. So it's not so much that you're a follower; it's more that you've got an agreement.
Like I said, I'm an employee. He pays me in power.
I see. And do you speak to him regularly, or is it just? I'm sorry, it's just the only reason I ask is just, I mean, any cleric now, anyone religious would be, dumbfounded to hear that there's actually a.
Yeah, it's worth mentioning that across the table, Hew is now just staring at Lugas.
So yeah, to bridge the gap, really, Adam, you spent a long time sheltered away. So what you're saying, you feel it's normal. You've met Tyr, you've spoke with Tyr, your relationship with Tyr is as you know it, but where you've just been sort of so sheltered, you're only really gathering that the words you're saying, people don't believe it, and it's not the norm everywhere.
I'm not lying. That's what I've got to say, really.
I mean, don't worry. I can't imagine you'd lie. You're literally an employee of the god of justice and law. But
yeah, it was really embarrassing when I first met him because, like, I went out to shake his hand, but I went for his missing hand. I felt really bad.
Oh shit, that's just awkward.
Mate, I nearly gave up.
I'm so sorry.
Oh.
Can you imagine doing that to a god? Well, sorry, mate. I'm really sorry.
I'm presuming he was an affable fellow. Did he take it well?
He sort of laughed it off, and then like I went for the other one. He was pretty awkward meeting.
And was that the start of a good budding relationship?
Yeah, like lasted quite a few decades of that, and then sort of got a promotion, and then
shit hit the fan.
Yeah, he fucked it up.
Was this the thing that you got punished for?
No. That was sort of at the beginning of our sort of my employment with him. I'm sort of on a like temporary leave. I hope he hasn't really done much communicating with me in the past decade or so, but.
Oh, so you spoke to him only a decade ago?
Yeah, like I've only been on this material plane for 12 years.
I'm sorry to do this, but can I insight check Lugas?
Yeah.
In what he's saying?
Sure. Don't worry about rolling, Lugas. Yeah, tell Hew. Yeah.
7.
I mean, guess I sort of look as baffled as him. What's been happening down here that everyone's so worried about?
The only reason we're just a little bit curious is just because when the cataclysm happened and the war started and everything kind of became a little bit of a, hellscape, because the gods just decided to use this as their Thunderdome for a while. They just vanished. They just left. Like no one knows where they went, and no one's really had any communication with them. Like
not that they've not been trying in some cases.
I feel like I might have had a bit of an advantage, as I do. I was his celestial neighbour, really. It's sort of like I am from the.
Is this world tree that you mentioned before?
Yeah,
Yggdrasil, right?
Yeah, it comes from the sort of golden canopies near the top. He kind of lives there, or he's like has his own sort of realm there. It's a bit weird.
Have you told any of Tyr's followers this by any chance? Just, ever thought about divulging?
Haven't had the opportunity to call back.
They might be interested, to find out if their god is having a staycation somewhere.
Oh, you mean Tyr's followers on this plane? I thought you meant, like, my family.
No, like the ones on the material plane.
No, I've sort of been just staying at a beach house near Waterdeep for a while. It's a lovely view.
I love the idea of this like cataclysmic event where all the gods are just fucked off, and that one character that knows where one might be is just lounging in a beach house for 12 years.
I did sell you whenever it gave me their backstories. I was like, yep, this is good.
This works.
Yeah, I've got a roommate.
It's up to you, really, because, it's your god, and you probably know a little bit more about what he wants than everyone else, but you might find you get a lot of... you get a lot of gratitude from a temple at Tyr if we pass one at some point, If you just to let them know that he's safe and happy, possibly happy, maybe. Slightly disgruntled.
There's a chance. Like, people, a business of some stuff should be showing up down here because my job. I was working for him after I got my promotion, so it involves interacting with the material plane and people there. It shouldn't. Was Teal the only person? Was the only god doing this?
No one's really heard of any gods. Hew can probably attest to this, but no one's heard of any gods in the last millennia.
Anyone with strange dreams involving squirrels and like lessons?
Not any that I've personally had. No.
I wasn't the only person doing my job. I was like, should be a couple of them.
Well, it's interesting because I do recall. When we first met, you might remember. You're not the first of your kind that I've seen, and some of the clerics at the Whispering Woods used to have. We used to think they were pets. They used to talk to squirrels, and some of the squirrels would stare intently at them. And I assumed that you were one of these kinds, so maybe they have been working elsewhere, but not personally.
My sort of circle of friends back in the upper plains wasn't very large. There's pretty much just my brothers.
How many do you have?
6.
Oh, jeez. That's a lot of family.
I miss them.
Have you ever thought of going back at some point?
Mate, I've flipping tried. There's not exactly an elevator.
True.
And I'm pretty sure I was sort of sent down here so you could teach me a lesson type deal.
I see. So you're kind of
London,
serving your penance.
Learn some humility. I don't really think I don't really think I deserved it. I felt like this is a bit much. But he's the god of justice.
I mean, that might be part of it, perhaps. Accepting your fate. With humility.
I don't even get like an opportunity for like a postcard. He just full abandoned me. He had like that one chat after, but like pretty much radio silence since then.
I mean, that does sound like a god, though. I mean, from what I read in storybooks and stuff, that's what the gods did a lot of the time. Just kind of left you to it. Unless you were very special.
Well, I did get the promotion, so I was doing a pretty good bit. I didn't see him hanging out with any godly mates, did I? He didn't just say, "Yo, what's up, Lugas? Can you sort of handle the phones for a minute? I'm gonna go see Ilmarta for a beer."
Yeah, no, he wasn't hanging about with his buddies. No, he was alone. He wasn't there with a band of his mates.
Town.
Yeah, he's dressed up in his best clothes.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just like kind of swing my eyes over to Julius and see what Julius is doing.
Yeah.
Since the last time I saw him juggling, I saw him nearly stab himself.
What are you doing?
This is some good rolls.
What are you doing, Julius?
Oh, so the moment he strode away from the bar, he'll have strode through the crowd with purpose, picked up a drink from a table on the way, downed it. Just mind sweeping, disgusting. Stand in the center of the room, like, ladies and gentlemen, here for your pleasure or my pleasure, I'm not too sure. And I'll get out my knives because it went so well last time, and I'm gonna start juggling them. And as he starts juggling them, he's gonna start reciting some kind of, I don't know, poetry. What would he say? Something like, "My mother was a magnificent woman with a very high IQ and magnificent bosom. All the gentlemen who came her way arrived in the evening and left the next day," and he's gonna like be juggling, and it kind of goes on like this. I guess I'll do a performance.
Obligatory performance check, please.
Let's not screw it up this time.
Hey.
We're great.
It's good.
Fun.
It's good.
That's
22. So yeah, as you're throwing these daggers around with such poise, you're catching them with ease. You're drawing a crowd, essentially. Everyone that's sort of sat down starts to look in your direction where your voice is just booming out across this tavern, and everybody's with the poetry. It's almost like you're inciting a rhythm with your words, and people are tapping their feet, and there's people just in awe watching these daggers fly through the sky. There is one person in particular who just goes, "Boo!"
Fuck you, sir.
Fuck you.
I'd like to try it. Can I try and flip a dagger so that it lands really close to him but doesn't stab him? You're gonna make me roll for it.
Hell yeah, I'm making you roll for it.
I'll say it now.
Roll me. Oh,
Perforate a patron.
just roll me a sleight of hand.
Oh my god. Okay. Please don't curse me. Don't curse.
You
Okay,
do-
we go.
I will say, you do have inspiration from before if you wanted to.
Oh yeah, that's a great point. Yeah, I'll use these.
You sure? I don't want to sway your choice. I'm just reminding you.
No, I don't want to stab someone. I wanted it to be cool.
Okay.
So I'll use my inspiration. It's
Tavern
okay.
brawl.
And then
Come on.
when we get in a deadly fight in 2 minutes' time, and I really need inspiration, I'm like, damn it! I
So
wish I just stabbed that guy.
Okay.
Hey, that's much better.
Fantastic.
Yeah,
So
you do.
as you
Nice vision.
you catch one dagger from the air, and as you throw it, you almost get caught off balance just slightly, and the dagger looks like it's going straight towards the torso of this gentleman, who's just booed you in the crowd. He is sort of at the front of it, but this spark of inspiration, sort of flashes over you, and as if physics is being bent and the universe is being compelled to do something that it shouldn't, the dagger arcs around and does a bit of a 360 and lands at the floor. It's almost like you were manipulating this dagger in some way by the use of your inspiration, but you know that it wasn't any kind of spellcraft. It was a miracle of some kind.
It's a Christmas miracle, guys. So yeah, I want it to land like really close to him, and then I'll just go over and I'll grab it up and I'll give him a cheeky little wink, and I'll carry on my routine.
And you see him, he's sort of flustered, and he just goes, "A touche."
And to you too, sir. Tips are always welcome.
And he does. He pulls out a couple of gold pieces,
Right.
and chucks it towards your way. And I'll tell you what. Roll me a d20.
D20. Oh, where is it?
Oh my god!
Ah, 20.
Not 20. So
That's got.
I was gonna say 20 silver, but hey, nat 20. So go ahead and give yourself 40 silver, or 40 silver. Let's do coin. Let's actually do denominations of coins in this campaign. So 40
Oh
silver.
no!
Or 4.
Thank you very much.
How much is that in Electrum?
No, apart from Electrum, we don't do
We
Electrum.
don't believe in electric.
Silver. That's silver.
There's no such
Oh,
thing.
that's electric.
So one of the things
Silver.
during the Cataclysm that the gods first abolished was Electrum. They just
Electrum.
smited
Understandable.
it. Yeah.
I need to go to like one of those. I need to go to a bank where it converts your silver to gold.
Yes.
I'm jingle jangling the silver at the minute. But yeah, I'm just kind of doing that, stealing a drink from someone every now and then, winking at someone every now and then, just like working the crowd type thing.
Fantastic. And the evening is drawing in now. It's most of the patrons have actually stayed quite late because of the performance from Julian. They're very much enjoying the show. And it started to get around about sort of midnight, 1 a.m. now, where you've just all sort of been drinking, chatting. Lugas, you're reading more of this book, but yeah, we'll sort of get to what these sort of celestial and common incantations mean in a moment. But is there anything anyone else would like to do during this late evening?
I'm just going to be waiting for Julius to finish to start that awkward conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What do you mean?
Well, I suppose, Julius, your crowd is starting to disperse now. It's getting quite late, and your haul is 40 silver and 2 gold pieces that you've managed to accrue from doing an amazing job. And you see Lucy at the bar just starts slamming this large cleaver just on the bar, and she just goes, "Ha ha ha! Late, but fucking worth it. Well done."
Oh no, fist pumper or whatever it is that we're doing.
And this fucking large ogre fist just envelops you, and it hurts.
I'll take 1 hit point at a time.
You're right.
Lucy, I think this is the start to a beautiful relationship.
Come back anytime. I fucking love it.
Oh, I love you too. Okay, good night now.
Yes, I am gonna start to. And she just sort of rings the order. Last orders! In 5 minutes, you fucking bastards.
and I'll grab a few drinks. I'll just like like this, and then I'll carry them over to the table and plop them down for people, for Lugas reading his book, or Hew, whoever it was that had it last.
Yeah.
Hey guys,
Well done. Good performance.
I got one for
Great
you.
work up there. Loving it.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
one for you, one for you. I got like a little shot glass for you, Lugas, and then I just got her to put some ale in it because I figured that would be like a normal like size kind of.
Just about. Nicky.
Yeah. So what does your nerdy book say?
What does my nerdy book say? If you
Yeah.
can get to it.
We'll get to that in a minute.
Hey!
Ignore the fucking book. Ignore the book.
You need like a long time to read a book.
Fucking book.
You'll have to figure that out later.
That's what I am kind of surprised that Hugh could read. No offense, Hugh. Just,
None
Didn't-
taken. I could just
Yeah.
about get by.
yeah, that's pretty good.
Hugh's just stood there, and presumably, Flopsy, are you staring at Julius with shooting daggers his way?
I'm just sat there going like, well, do you know what? It's late and I'm tired. We did a heist and there was a fight and really, yeah, so I'm gonna go. If I could just scoot out, sorry, I just need to.
Lucy said the rooms were number like 3 and 5, I think. I don't think they have locks. I'm pretty sure she said they didn't have locks.
Oh, fantastic. I love being in a seedy bar with no locks.
I'm sure we'll be fine.
So which numbers do we want, 3 or 5? I'm assuming me and you and Lugas and Hew, but we don't have to do that, I suppose, but...
Ah, I don't mind. Hugh, what's your lucky number?
7.
You can have room 5, because I guess it's closer to 7.
Thank you. That's my lucky number.
Well, I'm gonna go
There's no
to
keys.
3 then. So, night, guys. See you later. I suppose. And she'll, like, give Julius a bit of kind of side eye and then head on up to 3.
Cool. So as you head on up, there's this small, tiny sort of set of wooden stairs that sort of goes up, takes a 90-degree turn, and you're on this sort of low ceiling second floor. And it's sort of just grazing your head as you go. The ceilings are very, very small. You see it is just a corridor of small lodging, and you find your room number 3. And you go in there, and it's just a desk, a chair, and a double bed that it doesn't even look made up, to be honest. It's got a pillow and a blanket.
Excellent.
Yeah. Cool.
I'm gonna sit on the bed and wait, because I know it's coming.
Julius, what are you up to?
I mean, I've just sat down and she just walked off. I feel like, what were you guys on about?
We did a bit of a quiz on gods and stuff.
Oh god.
So
Like a pop
turns
quiz.
out this guy's actually seen a god.
No way. What, were you drunk?
No.
That's what I
Oh.
thought.
Yeah. Which one?
Tyr, sort of blind, one-handed god of justice. Like,
Oh,
I was a neighbour for a while.
you were a neighbour?
And this sort of employee.
A neighbour? Oh man, living next to your boss. I don't know. That would be rough.
It wasn't directly house. He sort of had his own realm that was like directly connected to my sort of town.
You had your own realm?
He had his own realm. I don't have my own realm. I'm not rich. But
Oh, okay. You just lived
he
in a
had-
realm when he was next to his realm,
Yeah.
and he was your boss. And then, so how come you're here then?
I did sort of an oopsie, and I
you
was sent
kill
down
someone?
here for.
Was it because you
I
killed
thought
someone?
I didn't kill anyone.
You did, Lugas.
I-
I saw it in your eyes.
No, I did. My oopsie did not involve murder directly.
Oh, direct. So indirect
Yeah.
murder. That's a lot
But
better.
someone did die.
It was indirect murder, Your Honor.
That's called manslaughter.
Yes.
Squirrel slaughter.
Oh, I mean, like, so you live next to Tia. That's cool. Wait, what? Are you like 1,000 years old?
I'm approaching 100. You know, your birthday in about a month.
Well, number one, we can have a crazy party for that. Number two, that doesn't make sense.
I'm still. I didn't know they hadn't shown up for a while, if I'm being honest. I've only been here on this plane for 12 years and didn't really do much research, and I sort of just slumped on a like a fancy beach chair.
So you made like a horrible error as an employee, and he put you in like the proverbial timeout. Here,
Yeah.
which I think is rude.
I mean, I did know. See, he's the god of justice. I personally think he went a bit too far for what I did, but I don't know the full consequences of my actions, or lack thereof.
What did you do?
What'd you do?
What did you do, Lugas?
Well,
Indirect murder.
I feel like I should explain it to the whole group. Really, actually, nah, it doesn't really matter. My job, it was sort of like, you know, Pinocchio, that really old tale, and like Jiminy Cricket. I was sort of a specific person's Jiminy Cricket. I was sort of sent down in dreams by Tyr, and I sort of like tried to guide their actions to stay on the path of good, type deal. Turns out
Mhm.
I was a bit shit, or someone else was sort of undoing me lessons, and yeah, my guy went off to do some bad stuff, and that was a bit of a.
So it was like
Oh.
Pinocchio if he didn't listen to Jiminy Cricket, and then he just
Or I'm just a really shit Jiminy Cricket.
and then he murdered loads of people. So that's why you did indirect murder.
Yeah, that's what.
What did your
so-
guy do? Ah.
I don't. Is this sort of like patient confidentiality type business? I don't know if I'm allowed to. I don't know how much I'm allowed to say. If that's just. I suppose he's a really bad fella, but I don't. Again, that's kind of on me.
Was he like bad on a scale of like me and Hew have heard of him like bad? Probably.
I mean, I think he's a bit of a leader of his own sort of culty type thing. I don't really know what it's called.
Do they worship you?
No.
Oh,
Do they
so-
worship? They worship him.
My guy or Tyr?
Your guy, your Pinocchio.
No, maybe. I don't really know much about his cult, if I'm being honest.
So do you keep in touch, or have you just abandoned him?
I don't really have a way to access him, really. I've no idea where he is.
Strong word, Hew. Okay, he was given a dishonorable discharge or a put on garden leave or whatever.
I was
Stupid
full on
thing.
power smote. I
You're
cut
back
off
on
most,
probation.
yeah, cut off most of my power.
Ah. Oh yeah, this was like the regression. This is why like you were like
Oh.
okay. Oh man, that's rough. Bosses, man.
What was his name?
His name, Galland.
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 Galland Dragomir.
Galland
Sort of
Dragon.
son of a noble.
He
Would
sounds
we recognise the name?
Yeah, do we?
It's not Adolf or anything like that.
For you, Darren. No, Kate. Where were you from again in Faerun?
I'm from Trent. I'm like, I can't remember whether it's called. It's near that Dale thing. It's like the east.
Yeah. No.
I've travelled around a bit. I might have come across it, but I don't know.
Roll me a history check.
Okay. So let me find history. Okay, +0. Let's go.
No.
6. Nope. Well, maybe Lugas, your boss tier or whatever. Like, I'm sure he's not going to be mad at you for long. It was just one tiny error that led to the deaths of potentially millions of people. I don't know. I'm sure it's fine.
I don't it's millions.
Do you know how many people he killed?
I've got no fucking idea, but he shouldn't.
In your
Is that because you lost count, or?
No,
Lugas, like
quite
500
soon
people
after.
died.
It was quite soon after his sort of first murder. That's when I was sort of kicked out and lost loads of my power.
You see, that was maybe the mistake, because maybe Tia should have just kept you there, and then you could have been like, listen, whatever your name
We
was,
can fix this.
very naughty. Maybe it would have made all the difference.
Mayhaps. That's all in Tia's head. I can't really. I don't have much influence on him, especially right now.
I don't suppose it would be wise to second guess the judgment of Tyr, but the god of justice. I mean, I don't know.
At this point, you hear Lucy just go, "Right, come on, I want to close up. Fuck off."
She's a delight, isn't she?
I am a fucking delight. Yeah. I
love you too, Lucy. I really like Lucy.
Oh, it makes her angry the more you say it. She's like, "Oh, I'm supposed to be hated."
Okay, right. Well, anyway, Lugas, listen. Tia's loss is our gain, you know? If you hadn't been kicked out for your disgraceful behaviour and performance, then we would never have met you on that ship.
I feel like I have to say it like that. You could have called it like my oopsie on my soul.
We might be dead. So, here's to you. And fucking up.
Kind of a backhanded compliment, but you're welcome.
Cool. What are you all up to? You're all heading up?
You pick up the book. I can't really.
Yeah. We'll go and finish it up upstairs.
Yeah, you will. Room 5, you two. Minxes.
Cool. So you all head up these small sort of wooden stairs to this sort of low ceiling corridor, large room that sort of spans across the upper floor of the tavern. And you find your room. Yeah. Anything anyone would like to do before we fall asleep?
Well, I'll walk in and see whether Flopsy is asleep while still sitting on the bed.
Not. She's still sitting on the bed and she's stress eating the last 2 slices of cake from the baker.
Things are bad.
She's got like chocolate all around her mouth and she's just going.
I'll walk in and I'll close the door. Are you okay? I'll shut it. Sorry, lock it.
I'm just a little bit worried about what you're going to ask. I'm not going to lie.
What do you think I'm going to ask?
I don't know, but you gave me death stars the entire time after the fight when you reappeared. So,
I gave you death stars twice, okay? Only twice. think.
So I'm
I-
presuming that there's some questions.
Well, look, I mean, I have questions. Like, I feel like since we were on the ship and then, like, everything was fine, and then we got on the ship, and then you're like, all these criminals from Baldur's Gate, brr. And then there was the glowing thing in the square, and you're like, oh no, Julius, we can't enter the death games. And you're like, Julius, we must enter the death games. And then we got into a fight in a museum for I don't even know what reason. And then you were like, oh, I haven't told you the whole truth, Julius. Which is fine. Because
I mean, I think that bit came a little bit before the fight, but I understand the drift. I get the drift.
well,
Sorry, that's
whichever way it happened, it's been 2 weeks. In my head. But I don't mind if you don't want to tell me the truth or if you're keeping secrets. Like, I get it, okay? But I just feel like you're asking me to trust you because you're like, Julius, we have to enter these games and we're probably gonna die, but we have to do it because of this golden orb. So you want me to trust you, but you won't even trust me with the truth. I just feel like if I'm gonna potentially die, I would really like to know why. But I'm not gonna lie, I really don't want to die.
I don't want to die either. I don't particularly look forward to potentially doing that. And I think what you're asking is fair. I want you to know I've been wanting to tell you for a while, like a long while, but I've been terrified that that's potentially bring you into something that might get you into trouble or danger or something. But I think at this point it's not fair to keep you in the dark for much longer. So, you know that I talk to myself sometimes?
I mean, I've noticed.
Yeah, I'm not talking to myself. A long while ago, I might have stolen something that I probably shouldn't have. And something happened and I'm not sure what it was. I stole, well, it turned out to be an Argon relic eventually. But, something happened, and I don't know what. No one seems to know. And since then I've just been hearing voices in my head. And now apparently I'm seeing visions. You know, it just gets better. It's a gift that keeps on giving, you know. But I don't know why. And unfortunately now, it's kind of led me to be in a very bad position where I'm now tasked in making sure that we get as much information about Aragon around the world as possible. And luckily, up to this point, not really much has happened, so I've been able to stay quite carefree and lovely. But and now it's just like all coming out of the woodwork, and I'm not gonna lie, it makes me a little nervous. It's also a little bit exciting because it might lead to some answers for me as well. You know, I'd like to know why I've suddenly got voices in my head, because I don't feel completely sane. And I didn't want to seem insane to you.
I think we're all kind of insane. In our own
I
way.
didn't want to seem completely doolally though. I mean, there's an element of it, but yeah. And I was hoping that maybe the Argon droids in the shop, the museum place, would give me some information. But they just said that Argon can't fuse with a person. It just doesn't happen. So, I don't know. And Lugas can't give me any information either. I didn't tell him everything. I told him an abridged version of what happened, a very summarized, abridged version, but he didn't seem to have any answers about psychic abilities infused by Argon technology, you know. But I can't read minds, and I can't communicate with you according to like my experiment from this morning, which just made me look like a loon in front of everyone. So, yeah.
What did you try and do this morning?
I tried to communicate with you telepathically, but apparently that didn't work.
Oh, okay.
It's when I was staring really intently at you.
Oh, yeah. And I was like, are you constipated? Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, that's the look you gave me.
I thought it was from all of the cake. Because they were big slices. They were generous.
They were really good, though. They were great. Thanks so much for that, by the way.
Maybe we'll just wean you off. Like, maybe we'll just do kind of like one slice of cake per day.
Yeah, I think I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I had the 4 slices on the ship and then the 5 slices today alone. I don't normally go around eating 9 pieces of cake, but I've been feeling I've been feeling a little overwhelmed in the last 24 hours, you know? It's been a bit much. And I'm an eater when I'm stressed.
I'll go over and I'll like sit next to her on the bed. The voices like, is it the same person all the time, or are they like different ones?
They're different. And they never seem to be malicious. They're offering help, if nothing else, but at least, well, apart from that one voice which apparently me and Lugas heard together once, and then I've been hearing ever since.
Was that like the same as one of the ones you hear all the time, or different?
No. The other ones feel a little bit more like people. That one felt a little bit more... Would I have said it felt malevolent? Or did it come across as just ethereal?
Ethereal in nature.
Yeah.
Malevolent, really.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't like that one. That one kind of gives me shivers. I'm not gonna lie. It's I don't think that's a particularly good voice, and I don't like the fact that it's ordered me to seize the damn thing either.
This is going to sound really nasty, but can I do an insight check to see if I believe everything Flopsy's just told me?
It's between you two.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I want to believe you.
I'll roll a d20.
Kind of person. Oh. 20.
Okay. Yeah, she seems like she's telling the truth.
Okay. Listen, Nets. Thanks for telling me.
That's okay. I should have told you sooner, to be honest. Because, to be fair, I'm just worried about the people that I've potentially kind of metaphorically gotten into bed with. It's not, they scare me a little, and to be honest, I don't know much about them. I don't know if they're in a bigger organization.
People? Were you like a part of that gang?
Well, no, I've only really spoken to my handler, and a couple of scientists that had a little bit of or magic. I don't know. It got a little bit confusing in the whole chaos of it all. Kind of stormed my house, you know. Couldn't ask too many questions. But they're not pleasant. They're the kind of people that give you nice smiles and look all wonderful and lovely, but they're just sinister underneath, you know. It's all a game.
They're the Grixon?
No, I don't think so. I'm assuming I've never seen a. Yeah, no. But they're powerful.
So your mum and dad are they okay?
I don't really know. I haven't heard from them in a while. I mean, I've been told they're in luxury, that they're living their best life, but which is nice, I suppose. Because we kind of came from a shit area. Well, I mean, as shit as relative, it's a shitty area relative to the rest of the shitness that Baldur's Gate now is. But it wasn't. They're doing all right, and that'll stay that way as long as I do what I'm supposed to.
Which is fine. This Argon thing.
Anything to do with Argon, I've got to let them know. And I should be doing my damnedest to get my hands on some if any come into my view.
Okay. We can probably deal with it. There's no problem that a bit of cake and alcohol can't fix. I am pretty sure.
I have come to learn that might be a little bit more accurate than I initially thought since meeting you.
Yeah. Look, we don't know. Like, we could wake up tomorrow and Lugas has done something crazy. Hew's eaten too. We don't know what's gonna happen, so I think let's just play this one step at a time. And, we'll figure it out. Okay?
Yeah.
Cool, so you sleep here, and I'll see you in the morning.
Ah, I see. Who's the name? Do you know? You look, the bed looks, this is way too small for just, two of us anyway, so I'll, see you for breakfast. Don't have any crazy dreams. Don't be talking to ghosts or anything. Okay. I'll, put my hand on her shoulder and give it, a little squeeze, and then I'll just go in for a big hug. I'll just hug you.
I'll be a little bit and then I'll give her a little tap on the back. And then I'll leave.
Where you headed?
I'm gonna go somewhere quiet. If the room downstairs is quiet, then I'll go there, or maybe I'll go somewhere outside that's quiet.
Yeah, either or. Yeah. Well, I suppose if you were to pop outside, you get the sense as you move past Lucy that she's got a fucking bed. I'm gonna lock the fucking door. So
see?
You could.
I'm just imagining Lucy in rollers.
Yeah, literally, it's gown and everything. Just fuck off.
Yeah, Lucy, just keep the door open, okay? Just for a little bit. I'll be back at some point between now and probably 6 a.m.
Fuck. All right.
Yeah. I love you. Bye. I'm gonna leave. And I'm just gonna go and I'm gonna find somewhere nice and quiet, I don't know, somewhere out in the street, and I'm gonna take a little rock out of my bag. I'm gonna get my violin out and I'm just gonna play a little tune.
Amazing. And you can hear from afar the bards in the city centre, and they are sort of dotted around the city. They all start to pick up on your melody. And it's almost like a cacophony of bards, and with all manner of different instruments are all you're all playing together in this distant orchestra throughout the city. And it's pleasant. It's a pleasant tune.
Beautiful. And I'm gonna go and have a party for the rest of the night, and then I'll come back at some point.
We may visit that next session then. Lugas, what you doing? You reading your book?
I'm reading this book. That
Oh,
seems
right.
really interesting.
It's a really cool book. So
I think I have a suspicion of something.
So as you are reading this book, and especially downstairs because you're reading a lot of it down there, the first chapter or so that you sort of get through, it's a large book. It'll take you a long time to get through it. It's written as more of a diary than anything, and it's from one individual that, throughout reading this first chapter, is kind of gone a bit anonymous. It's almost like scrawlings of text after the fact from day to day as they progress through this nightmarish hellscape that is the aftermath of the cataclysm. And we will move to here. The sound of flames all hit you instantly as you all open your eyes, your heavy, tired, exhausted and frail bodies. And as you open your eyes, you see the familiar hellscape in front of you. Burning trees, the smell of ash and blood and ichor in the air. The ground beneath you is oily and musky, and you're within a cage, each and every one of you. And we will go to here. Chester Burton, would you like to introduce and describe your character for us, please?
Hey. Yes. So Chester is an older gentleman, about mid-60s, very scholarly looking. Normally wears two very round spectacles, but unfortunately they seem to have cracked and broken in the aftermath, and he's just dealing with what little vision he has. Hair normally coiffed and then very groomed, is looking a little bit more dishevelled. His beard's a little bit more patchy and outgrown. But he's a historian. Particularly focuses on sort of like the ancient world of elves and dragons and dwarves, when that was like the kind of the before humans basically kind of became a more prevalent race. And yeah, he's just about, he keeps saying he's okay, that he's handling it, and that, you know, he's gotten through on skill alone. But to be quite frank with you, the fact that he's still alive and kicking is more luck than judgment at this stage.
And the sight you see in front of you and the environment that you are in, it appears your luck has run out. You are within captivity, and a creature is pacing around this oily sludge in front of you as you are restrained within this metal structure, birdcage type of thing. The creature that you see in front of you is this abomination. Ooh. It is a creature that is covered in stitched human flesh. Multiple shades and skin tones stitched together. It lacks emotion in its face. It's more just eyes, sort of depressed eye sockets and a gaping long mouth. It has scars, but they're not scars. They're just tears in the fabric of this human-natured skin. And it moves with erratic nature, and as it moves, it just goes and it's creeping through this hellish landscape. Harold Trill, would you like to introduce your character and describe it for us, please?
Yeah. So Harold Trill is another 60-something white-haired, bespectacled human male. He has ink-stained fingers. He's dressed in kind of smart workwear, if you like. By trade, he was a librarian, not for any particular interest or scholarly prowess, but just because of the love of quietness and books.
And while you're in this cage, you know you've been here for around about 4 days now. And it's almost as if you are awaiting your time to be harvested. This creature in front of you you've become familiar with over these last 3 or 4 days that you've been here, time has sort of been lost. You haven't been fed, you haven't been watered, but you can see these cages, the same as the one that you're restrained in, are all around this oily swamp-like environment. And if people have come and go from these cages, and they are brought in front of you and disemboweled and completely ripped their skin from ripped flesh from bone, muscle from tendons in front of you all, as the victims scream as they're torn apart by what you have come to know in your head as the Butcher. Gribbit Grobbleson, would you like to describe your character and introduce him for us, please? If Kate's there, I think her camera's froze. Then we'll move on to Verti. Would you like to introduce your character and describe him for us, please?
Okay. Verti is a very young, he's probably only like around 17, 18, 19, Dragonborn. He, in this situation, he is terrified. He is sort of huddled at the farthest away from the door of his cell, sort of hunched over, sort of sobbing into his hands. He's got some dried blood over him. He is a rather innocent sort of farmhand. He's sort of wearing sort of some dirty dungarees with different patches on them.
Amazing.
One shirt and I've frozen.
It's worth mentioning your microphone switched over to your headset, by the way.
Oh, for Pete's sake. Hello.
Well, I might not be. I don't know. Your mic just sounds different. It might have switched.
No, that's just my mic.
Oh. Just sounds strange, is all. Sounds like a webcam mic at the moment.
Should be better.
That's better. So,
Hello.
Kate's back. Kate's back.
Kate's back. Can you invite her in on?
Yep, doing it.
You're a ledge. You back, Kate?
Hello. Oh, God. Sorry, computer crashed.
Sorry. Would you like to describe Gribbit Grobbleson for us, please?
I will try. I'm hoping everybody can hear me. Can you hear me? Hello?
Yeah.
Hello?
We can hear you.
Can you see me? Am I here? Oh gosh, okay. Gribbit Grobbleson. He is a little tiny gnome fella. He's got like black beard and kind of like scraggly black hair. He's wearing like a kind of leather apron type thing and then like a dirty shirt like rolled up to the elbows. He looks old, but he's a gnome, so you don't know exactly how old he looks. And his hands are kind of like a little bit weathered and very callous. And yeah, that's Gribbit. And he's got a grumpy face.
So, next
Like
to you,
me,
Gribbit,
trying to reload this.
next to your bird cage, this is how I'm going to describe them, is blood and just all the discarded pieces that this creature in front of you is just, as he tears off pieces from his victim, he is slinging it right next to your cage. The smell is making you feel ill. Again, you've been here for around 3 to 4 days. It's starting to form maggots and all sorts of just disgusting, noxious fumes. The scene is yours, guys. What would you like to do?
Action sob.
Tell you what. Go ahead and roll me a sanity check, please.
How does one do?
Roll me a D100.
Okay.
So as you're viewing
Damage.
this terrible sight, yeah, you may have to.
I'm apparently fine.
Well, no, unfortunately you're not.
Oh, is that shit? No.
Okay, Lugas, what's your sanity score, which you can view on your character sheet in your features?
75.
75. Okay, so with a 99, that is, yeah, that's not good.
Well,
So you will. Hold on. This is gonna be fun. You lose 5 points of sanity, first of all.
Okay.
So just go ahead and put that down. Now, because for everybody, for my 2 viewers that watch Call of Cthulhu logic, you have lost 5 points of sanity in one roll. You're now going to get a bout of madness. Go ahead and roll me a d20 for me, please, bud.
Okay. Nat 1, baby.
my
Okay.
God.
So in that one, so the sight and the entire scene, the sort of the environment and everything that you're feeling within you, this fear that you've been feeling over these last few days of, will it be me next? When will it be me? It's almost inevitable, and this feeling has just completely enveloped you to the point that you're completely now having a panic attack. Your breaths are slow and very very in between, and you cannot catch a breath, and you start to asphyxiate, and you'll just and you just need to take a short rest. But yeah, lower your sanity by 5 for me. Flopsy, again, you will lose. Flopsy. I'm gonna have to get used to names. Chester. Apologies, I'm gonna have to get used to stuff. You will lose 3 points of sanity, Flopsy, as this is a failure. When you roll above your sanity score, that is classed as a failure. You get the sense that your mind is not your own as much anymore. You're starting to lose grip on what is going on, as your eventual death is imminent. Very much so. It is in all of your best interests to escape. And this creature in front of you starts to twitch and irk as it makes its way over to one of the cages next to you, Harold. In this cage is a small, lean woman, a humanoid woman. She's cowering in fear as this creature just goes and moves up to the cage, and these long, dangly fingers unlock it. The cage just opens up, and he grabs hold of this small humanoid lady, and she's just wearing rags, as are all of you. These white, stained, oily rags, and he drags her towards what is a workbench in the middle of this swamp-like texture environment.
So, can I ask, how did he unlock the cage? Like, what was the process? Did he pull out a key or anything like that?
No, he used his long, about sort of half a foot long fingernail.
And he just slipped it into the lock and...
He did.
Did you say that there was, like, bones and stuff next to me?
There is, yeah, there's all a complete sort of a fleshy mound is a good way to describe it. So organs, flesh, blood, bones.
Can I try and root around in the fleshy mound and see if I can find a bone?
Yeah, roll me a spot hidden. Well, unfortunately, it's not Cthulhu. This is D&D/Cthulhu. Roll me an investigation check.
I haven't
Andy,
done
I hate to be a pain.
real dice.
I hate to be a pain, but I checked at the beginning of the session. I could get to my Herald sheets, but I can't anymore. I click actors, and I just go straight to Hew.
Supposed to have a different sheet.
It should be in the past players folder. Can you not see 2 folders?
No, if I click on actors, it just comes up with there's no option.
Oh my god, all of my stats are so rubbish.
Yes, they are.
That's
By design.
What am I rolling?
Don't worry then, Darren. I don't know what's happened there, but when I actually do it,
Yeah.
I'll tell you what your modifier is.
Oh my god,
Cool,
I've
okay.
just seen a picture.
Yeah, well, you ignore the picture. You described it better than the picture. That's fine. Yeah, go ahead and roll an investigation check for me then, please.
Investigation. -3.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's going well.
4.
Well,
Would you like
good.
to... so, when you fail a check, you are allowed to push the roll. If you describe to me how you would further your investigation within this mound. Or you can take it as a failure.
No, I refuse to fail. I'm gonna, because otherwise I'm gonna die. So I'm gonna start and I'm gonna tentatively put my hand in the fleshy mound and like poke around a little bit. And then I wanna get up against the bars of the cage like this and get elbow deep and really, really reach to see if there's anything that I can possibly grasp with my little tiny gnome arm.
You better roll a good investigation check then.
Well, I'm not feeling confident.
Okay.
What was that?
That is a natural 20.
Go on, grab it!
Fantastic natural 20. So as you delve your arm further into this mound, and it does come up to about your elbow, you can start to feel, as you make your way past the flesh and the sort of torn off tendons and muscles, you get a grip on what you feel is almost a rib cage, and as you pull it out, it's half a sundered rib cage. That you could utilize into some kind of tool if that's what you were thinking.
I want to just wait until the creepy... that guy.
Yeah, it's currently got his back turned, so it's where he is right now. He's probably about 20 feet away from you, over to the left.
Okay, I want to try and use the bone to try and like pick the lock on my cage if I can.
Fantastic. Roll me a sleight of hand check then, please.
Hey, come on, baby.
Oh,
Oh.
no.
3. As you
No.
reach through the bars, or would you like to push? Was the option of pushing again?
Yes. I've got to try.
Okie dokie. It's a little bit from Cthulhu because you know your own scores. With this, it's a little bit different that you don't really know the DC, so it's great. Yeah. So explain to me how you're going to push this rolls. How are you going to improve?
Okay, so what I'll do is I'll try it the first time and I'll get nowhere, and I'll take it away and then I'll look and then I'll realize that there's quite a significant amount of like flesh and like matter still attached to it. So I'm gonna wipe it off on my little apron or whatever it is I have to make sure it's properly clean and sharp, and then I'm gonna try and go in again.
Cool. Roll me another sleight of hand.
Come on. Be better, be better, be better, be better, be better.
Nope.
Nope.
Well, it was better.
I mean,
It was
better.
technically better.
Come on.
So as you reach through the bars of your cage and you push this almost lock-picking instrument in to try and take hold of some of the pins that are in this locking mechanism, the bone itself was quite brittle, the one that you picked out, and it snaps, and one of the pieces of bone just lands next to this creature in front of you, and it just turns immediately in your direction and starts going, and it just creeps towards you. What are the rest of you up to?
If it is distracted, I think Verti is just gonna, because is anything in Verti's birdcage?
I'm going to say there's all manner of rocks and yeah, there's a few small stones. Yeah,
Does my rag pockets?
there would be. Let's say there's a bucket in your cage. Yeah.
I said pockets, but okay.
Oh, no, you've got no pockets. Sorry.
Just a bucket.
I'm at okay. How wide are the bars on this cage?
I'm gonna say they're sort of they're more width than they are curve. It's sort of
Clip it.
the squares within the bars, and they are more slats than bars. You could fit your head through it. Let's put it that way.
And if you look at my character, I am mostly head, so
you couldn't fit your whole body through it. Your shoulders would hit. But...
Would I not be able to try and just contort myself? Oh, first of all, I'm going to put some of my rocks in my bucket.
All right. So your bucket is heavily used, unless you've been shitting on the floor for the last few days, but there is a lot of shit in that bucket.
With a bucket of shitty
Oh, I
rocks.
didn't realise it was for shit. I thought it was for rocks. Okay, yeah, no, I'm not gonna do that. That's disgusting.
Depends on what you've been eating, I suppose.
Well, that's it.
That's crafting.
Nothing, apparently.
Not much. I mean, I think I will try just if it's distracted with that strange old gnome. If I can fit my head through, I want to see if I can try and either bend the bars a bit to try and make an escape.
You can roll me a strength check if you like to see if you can. Well, I'll tell you what. Either roll me a strength check and an acrobatics check. Does that make sense? As you're trying to sort of contort your way through these sort of slatted bars.
Okay. Oh god, damn it, Verti.
I love these characters. And an acrobatics, please, mate. A dex-based roll.
Okay, you break your own neck. That's the thing I get.
Oh,
Okay, this is interesting now.
Two
So
nat 20s as well.
yeah, I'm gonna honour the sort of the nat 20 as part of the 5e rules, and I'm gonna say what you managed to do is you managed to get sort of half your body through this gap. You get the sense that this structure that you're in is not intended to. They're just sort of makeshift cages, but there's tons of them. As you look out, there's sort of around 40, 50 of them, most of them empty by now. You can see some of the cages have some of them have families in, some of them have other elder gentlemen, but they all seem to be all in rags. And you manage to just sort of squeeze through, and you dislocate your shoulder, and you dislocate your other shoulder, and as doing so, you are able to slip out, especially because of the oily nature on the floor. You are able to sort of lubricate yourself, and you are free from your cage.
I am just gonna, find a place to hide and try and calm myself down first.
Okay, so we'll get to that in just a second. So this creature moves up to you, Gribbet, and just and its long, slender fingernail pierces into the locking mechanism, and you can hear it just go, and it reaches out and pulls the door. Anything you'd like to do?
Yeah.
All right.
As bone snapped off, right?
Yeah,
So I've got a shard of bone.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna just wait till the door's open. And then I'm gonna try and stab it with the bone.
Okay.
Run through his legs.
Roll me a d20 and add your strength modifier, please.
Dear, strength is -1, I think. Is that right? Strength? Yeah, -1. Okay. D20.
Don't worry, I don't even have a single positive.
Ooh, 17.
So 17. So do you want to describe it for us?
Well, I don't know if I hit or not, but I want to so the thing breaks and then the thing comes over, and I'm just gonna hide the piece of bone like up on the inside of my forearm like this, like I've seen in Assassin's Creed, and when it unlocks the door and it reaches this little bony arm out to me. I just want to run forwards, surprisingly dexterous for such an old-looking gnome, and I want to stab it in the rib cage, if possible.
Yeah. It lets out this sort of deathly scream, piercing all of your ears. It's so loud and ringing that you've almost got to cover your ears. Roll me a d4.
D4. 1.
Amazing. So as you pierce this sort of handmade bone shiv straight into its rib cage, this ichor, this black ichor, starts to seep out, and it just pulls itself into you and just goes, and it's going to try and take a swipe at you.
Oh.
What's your AC?
10.
Well, that's a shame.
I know. Poor Gribbit.
Hold on.
I missed him.
It's gonna fly out with these long, slender claws, and you will take 3 points of slashing damage. But it is now recoiled, and is now holding itself, and the cage door is still open. I've got to do names here. Chester, what are you up to?
Right, so when it screams at... Right, so are the bars metal or are they wood? Because you kind of
Metal.
said slats.
Yeah,
Metal.
it's metal slats, as in sort of thin, wide slats.
Does the lock look rusty?
Oh yeah, for sure. These are cobbled together, rusty old cages.
Right. So what I will have done before, as all of the bone breaking was happening, could I oil up the hinges of the door?
Mm-hmm.
Using the weird viscous shit that's on the floor.
So as you sort of reach down, this oily, slimy liquid, as you reach down into the mud below, it's like the thickest amount of oil mixed with blood. And as you bring it up, there is substance to it, like soil, but the majority of it is this black ichor, oily substance in your hand.
Beautiful. Oh, sounds beautiful. And then I guess with the screaming that then continues because of the stabbing, I'm going to try and I get this. I'm really strong. I'm going to try and just kick the door down.
Yeah. Right.
If it's rusty and now it's oiled up. So
yeah, go ahead and roll me a strength check.
Strength specifically or athletics? Not that it matters.
Same thing.
But
yeah, athletics.
We don't have any proficiencies. It'll be the same.
Yeah.
11.
Okay. As you reach forward with your foot, and so you're trying to sort of crash this door open, yeah. So as you do so, your foot almost goes in sort of this upward trajectory, and rather than sort of smashing the door inwards, where you've oiled up the hinges, they are sort of one-way, just pin hinges, and the door actually lifts and then comes off of its hinges and just falls flat. But it will make this sort of just in the oil as it falls straight forward. And the creature just does start to look and starts to click in your direction as it is still recoiling in pain.
I'm just gonna leg it.
You're just gonna leg it.
I'm just. Well, I mean, I'll. Is there a rock or something in my vicinity that I can?
Oh, for sure.
grab?
There would be rocks everywhere.
Okay, so could I, as I'm sort of like running out, I'll just grab a rock, attempt to throw it as I'm running, away.
Okay.
At the creature.
Yeah. So thrown in. So roll me a d20 and add your dex modifier.
Which is also really good. 9.
9. Which is fine. So, well, the rock sort of flies through the air and it hits into this creature, and it does hit him with a thud, but it doesn't do necessarily any kind of inflicting wound to it. It's more just angered the beast in front of you.
Excellent.
And it starts to twitch, and it sort of loses its focus on you, Gribbets, and it moves towards this lady that it had originally received from the cage, and it grabs her by the scruff of the neck and just pins her down on the table in front of you all. Let me get a head count. Verti, you're out. Everybody's out but Harold, right?
Harold's not done anything as of yet, yeah.
Come on then, Harold, what are you up to?
So, quick question. The cage, it looks on the picture at least that they're kind of round in profile.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are they fixed to the ground in any way?
Yes. But the ground itself
They are
is
fixed
soft.
to the ground.
The ground itself is soft and
Okay.
oily, and you get the sense that they are more staked into the ground.
Right. So what I'd like to try and do is I'd like to try and rock the cage backwards and forwards with the aim of tipping it onto its side.
Oh, fantastic. Okay, roll me a... you know what? I think... Yeah, I'm going to say with the notion of you rocking it from side to side, and especially with all of this distraction going on, you do actually... as you sort of grab each side and start to rock, you can feel one side lift up, and you sort of hear the suction of the stakes that are in this oily ground start to go as it sucks up, and you eventually get enough momentum to topple this cage over completely.
So does that have an effect on the cage itself, or should I ask straight, first of all?
Well, the cage itself is now on its side and just sort of rolling slightly until it comes to a stop.
Okay, and did the bottom, is there a bottom to it, or is it just bars set
Yeah,
into
it was
so
just,
it is open at the bottom?
Yeah, that's it. It was just bars staked into the ground. Your
fantastic.
floor was
Okay.
the oily soil mud swamp.
Amazing. And what's the creature doing? Did it notice any of that if it's distracted with the lady?
It's currently, well, yeah, it hasn't, well, it may have noticed you, but it's otherwise engaged in something else. And you all see in front of you, apart from anyone who's turned tail and legged it at this point, is a large cleaver just appears from the thigh of this creature. It pulls it out of some of the muscle that it's got. This large, thin, needle-type blade, and this creature starts to just lay this woman on her back and just start to carve meat off of this woman. It's almost all of the back tendons and muscles as he starts to carve, and these screams from this woman are just absolutely visceral. They're ear-piercing and deafening, these death coil screams as this woman is being carved alive. It is worth noting, Verti, make a perception check for me.
Okay.
Nat 20.
What? Right.
Yeah.
What's that for you?
You see everything. I mean, the gods are in the fucking sky.
Fucking sing him, the bastard.
To be fair, it is worth looking up. There are these flying winged creatures in the sky, and they're just all throughout the sky. They're smaller in nature, some bigger, some larger, but they're very much off into the distance, sort of circling, swooping down. You can hear screams off into the distance. Now, the environment that you're in, now you've sort of got the lay of the land, is you're sort of on this one main path. In front of you, sort of looking on, you're in almost this compound, and there's a main entrance about 30 feet away down this main oily track. And you see these other people that have managed to get out of the cages, but you can also see probably about 6 or 7 other people in cages that obviously have not been as lucky as you guys. I suppose question to all of you, you're all out now, what are you all doing?
Running.
Yeah, realistically, Harold's escaped and seen the lady, and he's ashamed of himself, and he wants to help, but he's a librarian. He's not up for any of this, so he's literally turning his tail and running. If there are other people running, he's joining that herd.
Yeah, Gribbit doesn't even want to help. He's just going.
I am also very much a coward by nature.
We have all created bastards.
Lovely.
Yeah.
You all run, Verti, you especially, as
I'm sorry.
you run past this cage where there is a small
Guilt trip.
it's incoming. a
Do
small
Don't do it.
ragged
Kobold child.
I was going to say lizard folk child,
Oh no.
thin
My boy.
and decrepit,
cousin.
and all of you haven't eaten for days. You haven't drunk in days. You are completely famished to the point that starvation is starting to kick in. And this child is much the same. Doesn't have much longer. And as you run past,
Is he on his own? Or is he like
he's on his own.
on?
Roll me. I'm going to ask I'm going to ask for a
I'm not-
sanity check on that one.
I might even stop.
Well,
Poor fella.
roll me a sanity. Roll me a sanity check.
Oh, that's not what. It's just the D100. Oh, it's already rolling. Okay.
Okay, what's your sanity score?
70.
That's a success. But you will lose 1 point of sanity anyway.
Well, hey, 69.
Hey, nice. Nice. But does this bout of sort of all the hair sort of stand on the back of your neck, and your mind is racing, but you feel this sense of guilt in the back of your mind. Does it make you stop, or do you continue on?
Yeah, I'm gonna try and, because did I see Darren's guy sort of lift it up? Harold?
Yeah,
Did I see
sure.
Harold.
Yeah, it was quite.
Then I'm just
spectacle.
gonna try in one fell swoop, sort of like squat down and just lift with me full body, try and just pull the cage out the ground a bit and push it over to.
Cool. So because you're sort of lifting from one side, I will need an athletics roll for that, please.
Okay.
As opposed to how Darren did it and sort of used momentum.
Yeah. Okay.
That's not bad.
12.
Like, yeah, you managed to lift it. It will take you around about 30 to 45 seconds to really pull it out and stake in the ground. You can see the small child with as little strength that it's got is attempting to help you in its panic. And you managed to topple this cage. And he grabs hold of your sleeve.
I pick him up and run.
You pick him up and run?
Yeah. this poor babe.
I know. So, let me have a look. Harold Trill, Chester Burton. You also run. I assume you guys are running towards the main gate of this compound. Yeah. As you run, you're also running past sort of cages of people. Do you wish me to describe what you see, or are you just running?
Run.
I mean, yeah. I essentially, yeah. I'm. Yeah.
Okay. They are. Yeah. You do feel something within you that you start to feel guilt, but your fight or flight sort of kicks in, and it's your skin that you need to save, as opposed to Verti, who's sort of small child. But these are older people. So you guys all sort of make it to this main gate. Large iron wrought doors, and you could still hear the screams of this unfortunate humanoid female still being carved from bone. And you get the sense that this creature, you can still hear it clicking in the distance, is almost enjoying what it's seeing. And you've seen it carve up many people over your time spent here, and it's, rather than chasing you all, it feels that it's made the right choice by staying where it is. But these large iron gates stand before you all by a large stone wall, probably about 15 foot high, as the perimeter of this compound.
The big, are they? They're shut, presumably, are they?
Oh yeah, they're shut. Sorry,
Sorry.
I should have mentioned they're shut.
It's closed.
By
So we have to
chance,
try and-
can we just push them open because they're so arrogant that they think no one will escape and therefore haven't bothered locking the doors?
Unfortunately, they are locked. Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah,
They're locked.
they are locked.
Do I still have my shot? Oh no, I stabbed my shot of bone into the blooming thing, didn't I?
Yeah.
Has anyone got a hair pick?
So
A child we can
Oh,
use.
tell you what.
Oh.
I will take off my broken spectacles. And I will try to see. I'll put a little bit of oil on the end of the thing.
Yep.
And I'll try to see if I can use them to
Yep. Sleight of hand check.
open
Please.
the lock. Watch me roll shit.
Are you short or long side?
Yeah. It doesn't-
11.
Does it matter if you're short or long sided? So as you place the sort of the what are these bits called? What is that?
Arms.
The arms?
Yeah.
I was gonna say legs. That doesn't sound
I want
right.
glasses my whole life. I don't know. So as you move the arms of the glasses into the this large aperture opening that is the lock on the iron gate, and you will have to sort of use both arms, one as a pick and one as a sort of a tension wrench, and you do manage to find the bidding. There's only sort of like 3 pins in there, and as you sort of lift them up, the tumbler does spin, and you are able to get one of the doors open, but your glasses are broken in nature.
Fucked.
Well, not fucked. You still able to wear them, but as you can imagine with glasses, they're just sort of held on your head now. If you were to put them back on, but yeah, doors open, guys. Are we legging it?
Leg it.
Fuck it.
Run.
What do we see through the gate? I suppose.
So
Yeah,
through the gate.
I don't want to run into more cages.
I can just tell you what you see. You see this.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so
Oh,
in front of
bloody
you
hell.
is just flame and oil and swamp. And these creatures out in front of you are flying in flocks as they survey the land. It is pitch black at night. You can see the sun in the sky is erupting almost. It's like it's got a complete mind of its own. It's just flaring every couple of seconds, just, and where it's so close, you can feel the heat radiating off of it. It feels different from the heat from the trees and the foliage that have just rotted away and started burning. It's different heat than that. It's more of a radiating heat emanating from the sun in the sky. But you do see one sort of main trail as you look down this road. Everyone roll me a perception check.
Can I also close the door behind us?
Yeah.
Okay.
You're going to have to adjust it, but that was a nat 20 for
I
me.
mean, it's a nat 20. I'm not adjusting a nat 20. So as a I swear there's only 4 characters. Obviously, like 8 dice roll.
14.
Bloody hell. So you're looking down this trail, and you can see very off into the distance a town, or sort of large building structures that would resemble what possibly a town would be, but it's very far off into the distance, like we're talking miles and miles. But you do also notice that this main trail heads straight towards that town, or there's an off-beaten track to the right that looks more off the trail, but you get the sense that this may be a better path to take if you wish to go unseen, but it may hold other treacherous. Which way are you guys wanting to go?
I mean, Harold will stop at the crossroads. Say, we need to get. We need to hide. We need to get away from other people. We should go this way, away from the town.
I agree. I think we should go that way.
I guess I'm just going to sort of look at the child. Would that be all right with you? You speak?
Yeah. Yes. I don't mind which way we go, I'll be honest. I just want out of this place.
I'll trust you. I'm not too good at this myself.
Have you seen my mother?
I don't know. I'm looking for my own. I'm very sorry. We'll find your mum.
Thank you. And he just sort of just goes and this black ichor just he coughs it up and it just sort of goes onto your shoulder. He's looking very, very unwell.
Does any of you know any medicines? Medicinals? Come on, please.
I can give it a go. It's another -2 though, but I'll see. I'll medicine check him. See how he's doing.
So for checks like this, where it's like narrative focus, I'm probably not going to ask you to roll. It's you tell me.
Okay.
You tell me if your character, if you are a learned individual. So yeah, quite possibly you would know medicine. So yeah, you tell me what you'd like to do.
Well, I mean, I'm assuming coughing up black ichor is not good.
Yeah.
Because that isn't supposed to be on his body, which would either suggest that he's ingested something he's not supposed to, or he's been infected by something that's going to kill us later.
Yeah, look.
Throw him into the fire.
You're not imbuing me with confidence here.
Looking at the black ichor that is sort of spewed out and is on this small lizard folk child's chin. It's the same black ichor that is just all over the floor. You get the sense this child was just so hungry and thirsty it started to digest what was on the floor.
I think that this child has eaten something he perhaps shouldn't have and is now paying the price.
Yeah.
I mean, we can take him along, but he might be.
And then he'll just be like very quiet, says he might be
beyond our help.
What do you mean?
How old was Verti?
Verti's like 17.
Okay.
He's never been in education.
Never been in education.
He's got an intelligence 3.
It's worth saying at this point, guys, this is, well, you make your way down this small track, and it is away from things, and you trudge your way sort of around about a mile in a distance, and the sky is just looming black. These screams can be heard throughout the distance. These winged creatures, this bellowing howl that's just like they're almost trying to echo locate any kind of creatures that are sprawling across the floor. But you are avoiding their gaze almost as you trail along, and you come to almost this clearing, and where you've been sort of traveling, and you really don't have a lot of strength in you. You do find a place that has this just rotten logs around that you could take a rest at. And it's worth saying at this point, this is after the cataclysm, specifically 6 months after the explosion at Baldur's Gate.
So things didn't end particularly well there then.
No. It's hard to gauge the knowledge. You are far from Baldur's Gate. It's not like a city that's just down the road. You are probably about 100 kilometers away from Baldur's Gate, in sort of center of Faerun, just next to small villages and hamlets and that type of thing, just sort of in the middle of nowhere. You were all brought to this compound as you were procured by this creature, the Butcher, and it brought you all into this compound to harvest you. You are food for these creatures, or as it would appear, and it's kind of, you've been whisked up in this whole thing.
Can I ask, was it so I'm assuming then we lived in a town which was away from where the cataclysm actually happened. So was it a sudden change, like all of a sudden the sky is on fire, or is it like a spreading, or was it a spreading effect of the cataclysm?
Initially, fire, shockwaves, destruction, but then a gradual flow of just disaster spreading out from the epicenter that was Baldur's Gate, and it still continues to seep out into Faerun.
Gotcha.
as this place is under attack. Anything you guys would like to talk about? Or do anything?
I would suggest that we perhaps rest, but I would stay away from the opening of the clearing. I would stay towards the edges, and I would also recommend that we use vigilance, have a person watching out to wake everyone up if needed.
We don't know what that word means.
Keeping watch.
Okay, thank you. And I've sort of like laying the child down. I'm like trying to give him like words of encouragement. Like, are you still right? What's your name? Do you have a name?
The name's Raker.
Well, if you feel any worse or better, let me know. I'm very.
You don't have any water or food, do you? No.
Can I hear like a river?
No.
Do I know what?
A river of blood.
Not right now, but we'll.
You hear no running water?
We'll get you some. We'll get you some. Real quick. It's our top priority after we've. Oh. Right. Who are you lot? Thank you for getting the door open. I'm very, very happy about that.
That's all right. I won't be able to see very well from now on, but that makes sense with my stats, so it's all good. I'm Chester.
I'm Verity. I was about to say I'm a farmhand, but I was a farmhand. But it's nice to meet you. You seem very kind.
Thinking back to the amount of people I left behind.
I wouldn't say that anymore.
Would I recognise Chester? Well, so were we all from the same town, or were we brought together?
All brought separately.
All brought separately.
Yeah.
Okay. Fair enough. Yeah, I think Harold's just he's kind of gone at the moment. He's he's seen too much. He's traumatized. The PTSD is well and truly
don't
set in at
tell
that
me
point.
that. Roll me a sanity check.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't.
So,
What do you want? A D100?
D100, please, mate.
66. Oh dear.
66. That is a fail. Unfortunately, you cannot push a sanity roll. You'll lose 2 points of sanity. Roll me. Oh golly. Whoops. Roll me an intelligence check. Just roll me a D20, sir. 4. So that's it's actually really good. It is, believe it or not. So you feel your mind becoming lost as you start to go insane, but your intelligence roll is so low that you're not able to quite comprehend what is really happening here. You can't quite get a grasp on the traumatic nature of everything, and it's not all running up. So your mind is almost dormant, and you're not knowing it. So
I think
for future, rolling low on those intelligence check is a good idea. Don't roll high.
good.
Thank God I've got -4.
Mm-hmm.
So I think Harold was essentially just kind of rocking, saying, "We left her. We left them," and just repeating that we'd left them.
Oh. Who was it? Your wife? Says Gribbet.
Gribbet's fucking hard.
Gribbet.
It's your frog.
Okay, point of order. First things first, if we've got to eat anyone, we eat the child.
No.
I'm not going to lie.
You seem surprisingly chipper for the apocalypse, can I just say?
Why would I not be chipper? We've just escaped.
I'm just going to sort of move the child further away.
Oh, where's Darren gone?
Oh no, we've lost.
He's
I
succumbed
would
to
say
his
that we
madness.
perhaps don't want to eat the thing with all the black ichor in it. I don't recommend.
Stop talking.
I'm not saying that I want to eat it. I'm saying if we've got to, we start with him.
Oh, this
Point
is
of
the
order, though. Where are we
quickest
going?
I've seen people totally ideas. I thought we were just waiting here to sort of collect our bearings before we carry on. I think that town Harold saw earlier. In fact, did you introduce yourself? I'm not sure. That guy, for old glasses man. But that town he saw earlier. I think we were heading to that, weren't we? It's the only thing we can see. I thought we got a burning forest.
I think we need to stay away from populated places, or at least places that were populated. If they're hunting people, where do you think the first places that they're going to go? Where a lot of people reside. That's live.
I know. I've heard other people say that.
Yeah, but having said that, we haven't got any food or water or anything that we actually need to survive other than a child we could potentially eat.
It's a forest. That's like
The forest is on
systems live
fire,
here.
little lizard person.
Well, there's probably bits that aren't on fire. It's not. Is it? What is the burning state of this forest?
Burning. Hard.
Australia.
Yeah.
California, most recently.
If this
Well, yes.
has been going on for 6 months, how's there any forest left?
It's just in constant ruin.
Lovely. I mean, I don't. If it wasn't completely burning, I could try and go foraging. If there is if I can find like just get low, so I'm away from the burning trees.
So I'll sidle up to Darren's character because I don't think he's actually introduced himself yet, and be like, "You could eat the lizard."
Don't eat lizards.
We can't eat. I can't eat lizards. No, that's not food.
You.
Lizards are
I need-
friends, not food.
Lizards are our friends, not food.
So just quickly.
Can I do like a?
Oh, go on, Don.
Yeah, sorry, can I do like a survival check on the state? Because we followed a track of some kind to get out this way. So, like, is it obviously it goes somewhere? Is there any like I doubt it after 6 months there's like cart tracks or anything like that, but is there any sense that it's travelled at all?
Roll me a perception check.
I'm just gonna roll the d20 and you can...
Yeah, that's good. There's obviously, like you said, there's no tracks, there's no anything like that, but you do look down, you do see foot traffic, but not boots or shoes or anything like that. More these kind of hoof marks in the floor, but not a traditional horse's hoof, more of a well, you don't quite recognise it.
Did you say a cloven hoof, like a
Cloven
devil or a
hoof.
demon?
A cloven hoof
Or, fingers crossed, a goat.
or a goat.
Like
Or-
a cow, it could be
Yeah.
a cow or a pig or a goat.
That's true.
Fingers crossed.
Trotter
It's
could
or
be
a
a
deer.
goat.
Well, yeah, that goes nicely into Verti. You wanted to sort of survey the land, see if there was any sort of wildlife. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Roll me a nature check,
Oh.
please.
It's an angry badger.
Can it not be survival?
It could be. Yeah, you could do survival.
Because nature's -4, and I thought me being a farmhand might help. Still shit.
No. So it's shit. However, experiences like that bring them up. Yeah. So as much as I'm going to ask you to roll some dice, do bring up that I'm a farmer. I should be good at this. Turns out you're not. Again, I won't keep asking for it, but you do have the option of pushing failed rolls.
Oh.
And this will be different from D&D. A failed roll can end badly. It's not like it just doesn't work. But it may end badly for you.
I'll try and push.
What's that mean?
I'm gonna try and push.
Try and push. So when you want to push a roll, you tell me exactly how you're trying to better yourself in this roll. So your first attempt has failed. How do you really want to almost push yourself that inch further?
I'm just gonna try and like properly zone in. I'm like tear off some fabric from whatever I'm wearing, tie it round my snout, so I'd stop inhaling smoke, sort of hood over my eyes so it stop getting in my eyes, and I'm just gonna sort of army crawl around. Just
Okay. Roll me the D20 again then, bud.
That's gonna be shit on your dislocated shoulders.
I popped them back in early.
Well, let's see how much they hurt, shall we?
Oh god.
Okay.
Hey.
Damn it. So
Aha.
you do manage to sort of as you say, get this rag over your mouth, so you are staying low to the ground, so the smoke isn't, you're not inhaling too much of it. But as you do venture off of this trail, the ground beneath you starts to get even more boggy and even more wet until you start to sink, and you almost can't crawl anymore. You have to go into a sort of an army waddle. And you go out a fair little bit of distance, sort of like sort of a half-mile sort of perimeter. It takes you a little bit of time, but yeah, you see no kind of wildlife, no sign of life at all, apart from these winged creatures in the sky. There's no plants. You can't hear any running water. It has just been desecrated.
Oh God. I think I will. Well, yeah, if I see nothing, I'm just gonna crawl back.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's nothing out there. No animals, no berries. I think again, if we're very hungry and we're not eating people, that town is probably the best place. Even if now's got a chance of capture again, we'll die if we just avoid it.
Fine. But we need sleep first, or at the very least some kind of restless relaxation.
Could I have a look? Is there logs? You know that you said that there was like logs and they're all kind of like gross. Are they like hollow? Like we could crawl inside?
Yeah, they're hollow enough that you could utilize them as a tight shelter.
Great.
As if you led in like this.
Yeah, well, Gribbet's only little, so I'm just gonna, like, without saying anything, just to anyone, just gonna start crawling my way inside one of the logs.
Cool. And
Well, I guess he's not doing first watch.
As you do, there's sort of these millipedes, but the carcasses of millipedes just fall on you. They're just skeletal structures, and it all just starts to fall onto your face, and the bones just sort of crumble against you, where they're just burnt to ash and cinders. You're gonna eat the bones.
Myself nice and comfy in the log.
Fair enough. And so with that, one of you, I will pick you, Vicky. Roll me a D20.
Yeah. Don't deny.
Straight D20. 7.
Excellent.
Yes.
So good.
And with that, the last description of Gribbets crawling into this log, it's the last line that you read, Hew and Lugas, of this book. And that's sort of the couple of pages that you've read just in your sort of your downtime. And with that, we will take a long rest in our normal campaign, and we'll see what happens to our other characters at another time. And that's when we'll end our session. Thank you very much. We've done D&D and Cthulhu in this mishmash of shit that will
All
work.
of dragons.
Thank you very much for watching. To my 2 fans that are out there, I know you're watching.
And my mum.
And Vicky's mum.
He's one of them.
And occasionally my dad behind me.
Everybody waves to Vicky's mum.
Hi, Vicky's mum.
Catch you later, guys. Shut up.